kauden kovimpiin koitoksiin. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this presentation of the ECL Elite Division Playoffs. How good it is to be able to say that again right here on NHL Gamer. My name is Tuki, joined as always by my broadcast partner, One Sin for the win. And Sin, buddy, it's been a long time coming, but how sweet it is that it's playoff time here again.
Yeah, and what better matchup to start off than the craziest one from last season, Jyväskylä and Färjestad. I mean, the upset that happened now, a bit closer in the rankings here, but still, there's got to be that hype, the build-up before it, and a lot of history between these two teams.
Absolutely, and when it came down to what matchups we wanted to cover, no disrespect to the other three, but without a doubt, today's first matchup in FBK and Jyväskylä, of course, the one that we primarily wanted to cover. That said, of course, we have some other things going on around the league. You get a look at the playoff tree here first. Again, for those of you that may have missed our pregame show, the warm-up, that will be available live to you on YouTube. Not live to you, but a little bit later on YouTube. Of course, NHL Gamer on YouTube, closing in on 1,000 subscribers on that channel as well, so make sure to sub there if you haven't already. But for those of you that did catch it, first and foremost, thank you. And of course, you are already familiar with this bracket layout. Our number one seed, Philadelphia, takes on Northern Ascendancy. Havu Gaming, our defending champions, take on Roots. hREDS will be playing Vesa Pompa. We'll be covering the first three games of that series a little bit later on in this broadcast. And of course, kicking things off today, a rematch from last year, the first two games, Jyväskylä and Färjestad. Incredibly excited to see how this is going to go down. And, of course, a look at the games coming up a little bit later on today, or at least what's going on around the league. We'll try to cover as much of this as we possibly can. Philadelphia and Northern Ascendancy playing their first three games, and Roots playing their first two against Havu. Of course, we're going to try to cover as many games as we possibly can. Sin and I joked, let's cover everything. It's not possible, but we are for sure going to try to bring you as much action as we possibly can. So, of course, if you haven't dropped here, make sure to do so. Sin, with that, let's get down to business. Let's talk about it. Jyväskylä and Färjestad. Let's take a look at the team matchup here to compare the stats from the 30-game regular season. And again, you've mentioned it already, a rematch from last year where Jyväskylä were the number one seed against 8-seed Färjestad. And it went incredibly poorly for Jyväskylä, I'm sure, as much as they love to continue hearing that. And Sin, heading into this playoff matchup here, FBK, a 5-1-2 record, those two overtime losses coming against Philadelphia, so really not a bad stretch of games in their last five. Jyväskylä, though, their last 9 games, they've gone 7-1-1. The problem is there was only one playoff team in that mixture. So it makes me wonder, Sin, is that better for the motivation that they're riding high right now, or is that maybe a little bit of a negative because they've been playing that lesser competition?
You know, I think once you get into the playoffs, it's a brand new season starting. So I think Jyväskylä is probably going to take that sort of mentality here. Yeah, you may have faced some easier competition here, boosted your record, but you know, once the playoff starts, seeding goes out the window. All you're focused on is your first opponent here, and that's Färjestad, and they're going to have to deal with their demons from last season and get the job done.
So with that, let's take a look at the lineups today. First, for Jyväskylä, we have Vatu, again, one of the top rookies this season, alongside Antti and Indy as well, the dynamic duo there. On defense, it's Domi and Ilmari, and unsurprisingly, they go with Sandro between the pipes, the better goaltender of their tandem from this season. On the flip side, for FBK, we have Afe, Malin, and Antonio Manin, Furian, and Arubatas on defense, and McSaven, the league's top goaltender in terms of save percentage, is between the pipes. And as we always do, let's take it to the individual matchups and kick things off with the battle of the centers. And this is absolutely where this series could be won. It's Antti against Malin. What stands out for you?
Well, what really stands out is neither of these guys have been great in the faceoff dot on their own. Antti with a 45.7%, Malin just below 50% with 49.9. Both of them seem to be, more on the assist side of things. But when it comes to Malin, leading his team in takeaways, which is great, but also leading the team in giveaways, which is odd considering you don't usually see a center in that situation so much to give the puck away. So I'll be really, looking to him. Maybe Jyväskylä wants to key in on him for those turnovers, but at the same time, you got to respect him on the defensive end as well.
Moving over to the battle of the wingers next. Again for Jyp, we see Vatu and Indy, two very impressive point totals. But on the flip side, of course, we see Afe and Antonio. Sin, last postseason, this battle came down to what Afe was able to do, while we were we were corrected to say that Antonio does run more of a go-to build. It is still Afe who runs that more unique style, the smaller sniper, and it works out. Again, second straight season with at least 30 goals, and he is going to have to be on his game today and throughout this series, because we know of the firepower on the other side with Vatu and Indy.
Yeah, and last playoffs, it was the Afe show, so you got to think, Jyväskylä is going to be wary of him and where he is on the ice at all times, especially in the defensive court. But their wingers, no slouches either, 51 and 54 points respectively, outscoring the Färjestad wingers. So look to that. Look for Jyväskylä with the resurgence in their strategy to be getting more offense, really going to test that defensive strategy of Färjestad.
And speaking of the defense, a perfect segue there that you set me up for. We have the battle of the defenders, Domi and Omari for Jyväskylä, for Färjestad, Furion, and Arubatas. And Sin, again, we see here points in bunches for defenders who are more than capable of putting up points.
Yeah, both of them, both pairings, it's what we look for in good teams. Both of their defensemen able to put up points. Again, Färjestad with a few less than, Jyväskylä's, but at the same time, Furion and Rubitas proved throughout this season to be absolute dynamos on the shutdown. And we know Jyväskylä, although they took a step back defensively in some ways, still very good on the back end.
And then, of course, we move to our final head-to-head matchup. It's the battle of the goaltenders. Sandro against McSavid. Sin, two of the very best throughout this regular season. Sandro, of course, I think had he played more games, certainly would have probably had a little bit more of a shout to really challenge for goaltender of the year. Of course, we'll see how that plays out. But ultimately, right now, again, still at the very least, two of the very best going head-to-head here in this marquee matchup.
Absolutely. We mentioned McSavid a lot in the pregame as well, and we talk about him every single time. He is such a good goaltender with that 83 save percentage. Him and Sandro, right up there. Yeah, you make the argument that Sandro could have been up there, but, Jyväskylä really wanted to be sure who their goaltender was going to be. They found their guy, so this matchup might be one of the most exciting of this series.
Absolutely. So with that, of course, as we always do, we have our three keys to success for each of these two squads. We're going to kick things off with Jyp on this front here. And the first point here that we have the balanced attack. All three forwards with at least 20 goals this season. It's not down to just one player like some people might be expecting it to be on the other side. So again, all three of those forwards have to carry the weight, and you would expect that they'd be able to do so. Second point here, what will it be? Because we focus on Ilmari here, one of the best offensive defensemen in the game, tied for third amongst defensemen in goals with 9, and he was second overall in points. But he's going head-to-head with the counter-attacking specialist in Afe. So do we see him take more of a defensive kind of setup here, or do they stick to the game plan and let him be the offensive threat that he is? So keep an eye on that. It'll be on the right-hand side of your screen throughout these two games. And then the final point here is for Jyväskylä to stay disciplined. The FBK power play is the second weakest of all the playoff teams, but you can't afford to give up that crucial time on attack. Easy for me to say here. Sin, the excitement level is way too high. I'm stuttering and stammering through everything because I can't wait for these games to get underway. But point being here, Yip had the second most penalty minutes amongst playoff teams, and the defensive comparison doesn't really paint a pretty picture. You have the FBK defenseman taking a combined 15 penalty minutes, Yip's defenseman a combined 38 in the regular season. So again, stay out of the box if you are Jyväskylä. Sin, for FBK, what are the 3 points that we have here? Their keys to success in the first 2 games of this series.
Well, it starts out with the number 1 threat, the A game. Afe was the key to success last postseason for Färjestad. Jyväskylä eventually had to know what was coming, but they still couldn't stop him. This series, you got to think, they have to find a way to shut him down, and he's riding high, heading into the playoffs with a new career high of 31 goals. 8 of those were game winners. Not only is he a prolific goal scorer, but also quite clutch. The next one here is one of my favorite references that you've ever made here. Remember the Titan strong side, left side. While they don't exactly credit the defensive changes, for their new additions, there's no denying that picking up someone like Furian helps a ton. I mean, you have the all-time leading scorer amongst defensemen, and he's still very strong in his two-way game. He's playing at such a high level. It's time for it to really bear fruit here in the postseason, which brings us to the last one here. McSaving the day. Name change and all, McSaven has continued to be the backbone of this Färjestad squad, leading the league in save percentage this season. He's going to have to keep that high level of play, especially with a Jyväskylä team, which has put more emphasis on offense.
Again, I wish I could claim the remember the Titan play or the word, the pun, the word, play on words there as my own. I can't. I have to give credit to our producer, Justin, also known as the Crease Plays behind the scene. He has had his hands all over some of these puns this season, but certainly doing a great job in that regard. Sin, it's hard to believe that we're here. It's playoff time. We are just about ready to go, a 30-game regular season that seems like, to me at least, that it flew by despite the holiday break, especially throughout this month. The first three and a half weeks, it's been a crazy pace. But again, we are just about ready to go. The first night of the playoffs, again, game 1 and 2 between Jyväskylä and Färjestad here. And of course, our second matchup a little bit later on, it is the battle of the 3 and 6 seeds in hREDS and Vesa Pompa. 3 games to begin that series here in this broadcast. So make sure to not go anywhere. We will be here for a while with a lot of very close and competitive action, at least we would suspect on paper. Sin, if there is one thing that we learned, especially from this matchup last year, expect the unexpected. Nothing is for sure when it comes to the playoffs in the elite division. So again, we are just a few moments away from puck drop here. Sin, when it comes to these two teams, I mean, again, you're looking at two of the better defensive teams in the league. The offense was relatively close as well, we saw from the team stats. Something has to give here. Is it going to be that type of matchup that I know you and I have talked about a lot? You have two teams that are so close in skill level that it just feels like the bounces and the lucky breaks are what's going to decide this. Or maybe we see something crazy like last year where one of these two teams just runs away with it. Yeah. It really is impossible to predict.
You know what? Bounces are always a factor, and especially when every goal means that much. But I think for me, what it's going to come down to is Jyväskylä, while they may at times seem to be really taking control of the game, they can't allow themselves to get lulled into a sense of security, because that's what burned them last season. And we know Färjestad, if they find one little hole, they're gonna attack, and with such a better defensive scheme as well, they seem to be a really balanced squad here. So Jyväskylä definitely has their work cut out for them. That being said, Färjestad, you don't want to spend your entire time defending either. So it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. I'm ready for game 1. Hopefully the teams are close to ready.
Absolutely, they're just about. All right, I do believe though we can get a quick look here at the top 10. From this past season as well. We'll go to the top 10 skaters here just to get you a quick look once more at what had happened here. And of course, you see there at the bottom, the only player involved in this matchup. It is, of course, the center in Antti that is leading the way for Jyväskylä. And of course, we will see the big front three for hREDS in action a little bit later on in this broadcast as well. So, of course, keep an eye out there for Antti, the centerman, of course, for Jyväskylä. I do believe, though, we have time to take a look at the defensive matchup here as well. And there you see it there. Again, the hREDS defense pair certainly up there, but we see Domi, we see Omari as well up there for Jyväskylä. So it's going to be very intriguing, of course, to see just how well they're able to translate this offensive success. And I mean, again, Sin, you look at this lineup here, you know, we've talked about it all season long, probably to the point of just exhaustion at this stage. It has to make these players sick to their stomachs just to hear us mention it time and time again. But we really are going to see just how galvanized this roster is, how determined they are to make up for what happened last season, again, in that first round upset. And of course, we heard it from Antti as well. It's like that's fresh on their minds. They know what this is, you know, what this expectation is and what this matchup needs to be for them moving forward as a club. And if I'm not mistaken, we can also get a look at the top 10 goaltenders here. Again, right now, we are just waiting for the teams to match up. Puck drop just a few seconds away here. And there you see it's in the top 2 goaltenders in terms of save percentage going head to head. Sandra, of course, a little bit more involved in a tandem as opposed to McSavid, who played every single game for his team this year. I mean, Sin, there you see it. I mean, again, just 6 goaltenders finishing over an 80% save percentage as well. And of course, the one number that stands out, it's Kape with the 12 shutouts in total there. But again, you see someone like Finn Kona as well, who would have been up there. We have some incredible talent on display in this broadcast today between these two different matchups. Sin is, I'm dissipating. I'm Sin now. Sin's gone. Sin, we've changed bodies. It's a Freaky Friday on a Monday. Hard to believe. I'm up here. You're down there. Who knows what's happening anymore? We're in the upside down. Welcome to Australia. The teams have matched. Sin, you see a lot of puck-moving defensemen, the playmakers as well, the sniper, Farafe. So much is going down. Yeah. What's the opinion there as you get a look at the player types?
I mean, pretty standard when it comes to the meta, and then the meta for Färjestad just seems to be different than everyone else. I mean, hell, let's just throw a sniper in there because you hear so often when you're playing against a human goalie, don't use a sniper. Afe says, forget that, I'm going to use a sniper, and, well, 31 goals, hard to argue with.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's been an incredible run of form for him in the Elite Division so far. Sin, the talk is done. We have set the stage as well as we can. We have mentioned Freaky Friday, which I never thought would happen during one of these broadcasts, at least not with one of us on the call with Farbsy. You just never know what's going to happen here. I am so ready for this. As if you couldn't have asked for a better first round matchup. I can't wait to see how this one goes down. Of course, Jyväskylä will be in the white and red. You see them there. They'll be going up on your screen. Färjestad in the green. Playoff action here in the Elite Division underway. Let's see what happens in the rematch between these two clubs. The early offside call, and Sin, perhaps we do see that a little bit more here in the early stages of these games. The neutral zone battle may be more of a slow, methodical pace to kick things off.
Yeah, perhaps a bit of nerves right there. It was a good break-in attempt. Domi delaying on the blue line, and Vatu trying to get that step on the left wing side, just slightly mistimed.
Like the patience here on display from Färjestad. Antonio nowhere to go on that pass, and we'll see where Yip is able to find a little bit of space here, trying to break through. We see the same thing on the other side. Methodical, taking their time. Errant pass there from Domi. FBK back in possession. Mullen, good protection along the half wall. Goes back up. It was cut off by Antonio. I think a pass intended for the defense there. A little bit of a miscommunication early on. And they tried the quick outs. No one was really going there. I do wonder if that was a shot on target, at least attempted. Doesn't quite go their way. Good forechecking pressure here, though. Antti gets it back over to Vatu, who tried to find the centerman. No space. See what FBK can do. This has been a very interesting opening 5 minutes, despite not being a single shot on target. See what happens there. Big hit. Afe nowhere to go. It's Yip back in possession here. You see the lateral passes, bit of space. Indy tries to go back across for Vatu, just not able to get a stick on it. And another turnover here. Jyväskylä trying to force the pressure right now. High line from the defenseman. Not able to win it back on this attempt. Drop back to the point. D to D. FBK in the attacking zone now. Down low in the corner. Tried to pass it down and around. Deflects off a defender. And it'll be an offensive zone draw here for FBK.
Yeah, from 0 to 100, started out slow, and then it just turned into a hectic bouncing puck game, it seemed like, throughout all three zones right there. You want to settle it down here, especially if you're Färjestad. A lot of that did not go in your favor with some of those defensive zone turnovers.
Antonio sends it back to the point, up to Rubitus. Back down low to the winger. Again, the former defenseman as well. And really helping that defensive structure, even if it was something that they were looking to improve upon this season anyway. As this puck picked up, Yip trying to go back down the other way here. Indy able to find Domi. They stay on side. Back down low. Teemu but Vatu throws it back in front there. No space to be found. And the good attempt from Vatu. We can see he's really finding those passing lanes right now, but just not able to find the target on the opposite side. A little bit of trouble here trying to work it through the neutral zone. Not able to do so, Sim, but it's kicked back out.
Yeah, Färjestad doing a good job here at their blue line, patrolling it, stopping them. But what they got to do is worry about this breakout. The hard forecheck from Jyväskylä.
Indy there tries to tuck it in short side, but McSaven is able to make the stop. Sim, we've seen that a couple of times from Yip so far. That forechecking pressure just kind of cannonballing themselves into the offensive zone.
And that's one way you can stop those quick strikes, is not get the defenseman any time to set up that slap pass.
Good defensive zone draw win for Malin. Good patience on display from Furion. And again, FBK taking their time. It works out. Bit of space here. 2-on-1 developing. Malin tries to send it over. Picked off, though he didn't really get anything on the pass. And it's Elmari picking it off. Sandro able to cover. But good transition work there from FBK.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see how quick it can develop for them. They just seem to make something out of nothing oftentimes. They try for the tie-up win. Jyväskylä may break it out, but a good turnover force by Färjestad.
And Antonio right now just not able to find those passes back to the point. A little bit off the mark. 5.5 minutes to go here. Good stretch pass to get it over the line. Antonio, the big spin. Nowhere to go, though. Great opportunity again for FBK, finding a little bit of space on the rush. The downside to the extra bit of aggressiveness here from Jyväskylä. They're in the attacking zone here, though. Back to the point. D to D. Good movement to get it over to the right-hand side of the ice. But Furion's able to take it away. Nearly turned over. Big play there. Antonio with a little bit of space. Drops back to Malin. Opportunity. Tried to go back down low. But Domi reads that one. Going back down the other way now. Great pace to start off. Again, game one of this quarterfinal matchup, a rematch from last year's postseason. Färjestad taking that one in convincing fashion in one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen in the Elite Division. This pass picked off, final minute of play, as Antti brings it into the zone, but the puck just goes back over the line as he tried to hit Indy, who was breaking in.
Yeah, and we're starting to see, the game sort of settle down in some ways. I mean, you have to watch out if you're at Jyväskylä. I think after those couple near odd man rushes, they pulled that forecheck back just a little bit, which is probably what Färjestad wants.
Space for Afe with a lot of speed, drops back to give and go, and he stopped on the short side. Great stop from Sandro. 5 seconds here. Indy, burst of speed, shot on, picked off out of the air by Rubitus, sent all the way down, and that will bring us to the end of the first period. So good chances for both teams. Sin, we had that Remember the Titans reference in the pregame. It's been a clash of the Titans so far here. This game very, very close so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Some good back and forth action. Chances at both sides. Odd mans for Färjestad. Some good forecheck, forced turnovers from Jyväskylä. However, no team able to find the scoreboard just yet. Not from lack of trying, obviously. Sandro, McSaven making some pretty good saves thus far. And it really, if you're looking at it, the eye test so far, even if you look at the on-paper stats, I mean, this is pretty much as even of a matchup as you can get. And after one, not disappointing so far, but I really got to give shout-outs to the defense. Both Ilmari and Rubitus with 2 pretty big intercepts. It was Ilmari on that odd man who intercepted that pass that you mentioned. Perhaps, didn't get quite enough of it, but it was good positioning from Ilmari, and Rubitus off that shot, looking for a rebound. It could have could have actually been sprung. I think Vatu had the step on the defenseman, could have turned into a secondary chance on McSavid. But yeah, so both defense and goaltenders have been great so far in that first period, but it's not going to stay 0-0 forever. I think we're going to see someone break it here in the second period.
Second period underway here. Let's see how this one plays out. What team can grab the advantage? See the work along the line here. Domi with a little bit of space has options. Goes down the left-hand side and gets the puck back quickly. Again, back down the left-hand side. Vatu in front, shot, score! Doesn't take very long. Sin called it, and it's Jyväskylä who are able to find the breakthrough. Vatu finds Indy in front, and it's 1-0.
Yep, and that's such a strong play. You know, the quick one-time shot from a forward near the circle there that you saw him setting it up. I mean, FBK had bodies there, just not quite enough, and they didn't pick up Indy in time, who just kind of crept his way in there. And in this game, if you're not right on someone, you likely won't get the benefit of the doubt on the defensive play. I mean, you either need a lucky intercept or a lucky incidental contact. Great job from Jyväskylä. They are able to find that goal, 1-0 here in the second.
The captain makes it happen. He has the breakthrough goal in this one early in the second period. A minute and a half into it. We'll see what Yip can do here on this attack. Again, Domi has it at the point. Goes back to Antti. Has a couple of options here along the half wall. Dishes back to Domi. Doesn't send it back down. In front, shot, glove, save. Great job there from Jyväskylä. Kind of forcing the Färjestad pressure over to that half wall. Opened up space for Vatu in front.
Yeah, and it really seems like they've done their homework and looking for ways to wear down this Färjestad defense.
Let's see what Färjestad can do here on the counterattack. Burst of speed. Nowhere to go for Malin, but they do draw the call. Sin, it was one of our points here. Stay out of the box. Färjestad not the most potent offensive output on the power play here, but it's a penalty from the goal scorer in Indy. A bit of a soft one there on an interference call, but regardless, the situation remains the same. Färjestad, who have a great advantage on the faceoffs here, 7-2. Go on to the power play. Malin wins another one, and we'll see this power play go to work. Shot on the short side. Afe is denied, testing Sandro early. Great step up there to force the pressure. They have it now at the point. Circling back, looking back to the point one more time. Down low into the corner, trying to find Afe. Has it here again. Good movement. Looking, intercepted by Antti, and he'll send it all the way down. So Sin, a good job there from Yip to cut out some of those passing lanes.
Yeah, and a little too stagnant for Färjestad. Good puck movement, but I'd like to see a bit more body movement. You know, Jyväskylä is just being allowed to stand there and defend.
Furion, the feed down low. Antonio circles back. Shot deflects wide. Still fighting for it down low here. Domi not able to hold on to it. Off a quick passing, blocked down in front by his own man. And it's cleared out. Fresh man out of the box. Big spin from Indy, but handled extremely well by Arubatas. Good forechecking pressure here, though, from Vatu, giving the FBK defense a lot of trouble on these breakouts. We see the step up there, though, from Ilmari. We wondered how aggressive he'd be. We have our answer. FBK, though, in the zone. Chance across, intercepted by Omari. They tried to find Afe on the far side. Antti brings it over the line. Back to Omari. He gets it back one more time. Body pressure there. Still fighting for it. Indy trying to come up with it. Antti has it on the doorstep. Just doesn't find its way home. Incredible pace here to this second period of play, especially in the aftermath of that power play opportunity for FBK halfway through this second period here, Sid.
Yeah, and, you know, FBK, they're looking a little bit more desperate here, trying to force some passes through that they wouldn't normally force, but Jyväskylä back in on the attack.
Back down low, Vatu has a couple of options. Able to fend off the pressure. Antti to Indy. Backhand, big save by McSavid. And a chance for Vatu. Secondary opportunity that just went behind the back of the net. Indy wins it back again, turned over though. Let's see what FBK can do. Afe, a little bit of space to work with. Again finds the other wing, great movement. Antonio has it, feeds it down low. Malin looking for options. Nothing's there, runs straight into Ilmari. And right now for FBK, it's just been a matter of if our first chance isn't there, the second chance isn't there. They don't seem to know where to get that third opportunity, that third look from. As again, Yip in the zone, but a pass a little bit off the mark.
Yeah, and as this period winds down, you might want to see Färjestad just start to take the shots, especially from the points. I mean, they're doing a lot of passing back and forth and not really just looking for rebounds.
Here's Vatu again trying to fend off the pressure. He can't. Too many layers for FBK. Here they come down the ice. Another opportunity. Mullen dishes back to the point. Rubitus again back down low to him. Good movement here, but can they find space? Again, it's Antonio to Mullen. Tried the short side shot, just wasn't there. 3 minutes to play now here in the second period. Again, game 1 of 2 in this first round matchup of the ECL Elite Division playoffs. The best of the best in the EU going head to head here. It's our battle of the 4 seed and 5 seed. Pass in front is intercepted by Rubitus, and I think that was just an example of a play where you just hope somebody's there instead of taking what was actually there to you. Incredible sauce pass. Batu with space. Back to Indy. Tried to go back. That wing connection just didn't work out. The quick out. Fended off by Antti. Still fighting for it here. Domi pinching up. FBK will circle back. 6 seconds here. Shot clock winding down. Intercepted. 2 seconds for Batu. Drops back for Antti. Shot is directed away by McSavid, and that will bring us to the end of this second period. The early goal, as you'll see it here from Jyväskylä, the difference maker. It's 1-0.
Yeah, and Jyväskylä really seems to have a strategy in mind, not only offensively, but the forecheck is really doing a good job to play defense for Jyväskylä. We know that Färjestad has a lot of those, slap passes, long stretch passes in their arsenal. We saw one attempted there toward the end, and Afe was so far up the ice. I think he really may have even had a step on the defenseman, but it was a strong forecheck from Jyväskylä, not even allowing the slap pass to get off and creating more offense for them. So it seems like Jyväskylä is really honed in on that sort of strategy, and we see there 4.5 minutes time on attack for Färjestad, only 2 registered shots. I really think they needed to start putting the puck on the net here in the third period, because what they've done so far hasn't quite worked. There's been times where their point men have had open looks. Maybe it would have hit a body, maybe could have hit a stick, but that could serve to benefit you as well. I think in the third period, when Färjestad has the offensive zone, instead of looking for the perfect play, maybe throw a few more pucks on net.
I mean, these are 2 teams that you see put up a few more shots. 6th for Färjestad, 7th for Jyväskylä in the regular season. So, again, Sin, I can't help but agree with you. I think we got to see FBK just kind of let loose with these shots, as this one is poked into the bench. So we'll have another quick face-off here. Just 24 seconds into this third period. Again, the first game of 2 between these 2 teams. hREDS in action against Vesa Pompa a little bit later on in this broadcast. As Yip back in the attacking zone. Great movement here. Shot from Antti just wide on the blocker side. Another chance and a big glove save by McSavid. Great job there to track that one. Great opportunity for Jyväskylä to double up the lead.
Yeah, and Färjestad's going to want to win this face-off, get this puck out. We mentioned that we don't want to see them fall into the trap where they defend just too much here. A breakout pass attempted here and just goes all the way down. That'll serve as almost a nothing play. That being said, Sandro just kind of flips it right back to him, so second chance for Färjestad.
No choice to play it. FBK in the zone. Great pass, overshot, and a glove save by Sandro. Much better there. You had the net front presence from Afe as well. Just wasn't able to get a stick to it.
Yeah, and I like the attempt right there, just firing the puck on net there from Furian and hoping for the best. It wasn't what he wanted on that shot, but you mentioned it. There was the net front, the clear shooting lane, and perhaps a chance for a rebound or a deflection. Just didn't work out that time.
Team wins that draw as well. Face-off race getting that much closer. Chance here for FBK. Afe burst to speed, drops back. Mullen shot it just wide, blocker side. Yarian pinches in to retain that one. Quick shot as well from Mullen. Great give and go there. We're seeing FBK heat up a little bit here. Furian tries to get one on. Intercepted by Antti again. Still fighting for it, though. Afe comes up with it. Intercepted off the no-look attempt there. Domi able to pick that one up. So a much better start here as Antonio picks that one off. FBK again back in possession. Trouble at the line. It'll be called offside. It's in much better start here for Färjestad, though.
Yeah, they're looking a lot better, and I do like that they're taking the shots when they are available, and I'm not too sure if Afe was meaning to spin right there or just trying to L-skate to protect the puck. Either way, it did put his team offside.
Antonio drops back. Good movement again here. Mullen sends it across. 2 players there. Nobody could get a stick on it. Nowhere to go for Antonio on that one. Elmari, big stretch pass, 2-on-1 here. Indy has Vatu with a backhand. He scores! Just over the line. McSavid so close to saving the day. but Jyväskylä have doubled up their lead on a great goal that started with an incredible sauce pass from Elmari in his defensive zone.
Yeah, that stretch pass was, as you said, it incredible. And then, you know, the counterattack ability there of Jyväskylä, quick strike ability of their own here in game one, taking a 2-0 lead, almost perfectly played on that 2-on-1. The defenseman couldn't quite get back, maintain the gap between the pair of them. The pass was able to get through. Not a whole lot McDavid could do there except sprawl out on the ice and hope for the best.
Batu with his first ever ECL Elite playoff goal. FBK now down by 2. Another pass intercepted, but they maintain it in the offensive zone. Desperate times now, and again, for the third time, Sin, we've seen Antonio try to drop it back to his defense, and it's just been off the mark. Contact there, no interference call, no icing either. So we continue on now halfway through this third period. Jyväskylä right now have to be feeling good, but again, we've seen crazy things happen. Space here for Indy in behind the defense. Toe drag has it knocked away by Arubatas. See what FBK can do. Time winding down for them. Mullen trying to maintain possession here at the moment. Just mistimed with Fury, and they're offside. Sin, I mean, it was a good start for FBK, but they give up that goal. They're in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they really have to force it, which means they can't rely on their defensive strategy to force the turnovers. They have to force it themselves, which may feed into Jyväskylä's game here.
Indy back to Vatu. He gets a back shot on, is intercepted there by Fury, and Mullen brings it in over the line. A little bit of trouble. Quick passing here. Antonio again just can't hold on to it. It's been a pretty rough game for him in the offensive zone so far. 6.5, big step up from Mullen to knock that one loose. Shot blocked down. Again, it's just not there right now for FBK. The timing on these decisions. Antti drops back to the point. Mistake there, though. Big play. Afe with space poked off of him. Sandro able to keep it out. Mullen throws one across the crease. Nobody on the other side of it. Chance at the point. Rubatas back for Antonio. One-timer from Furion and a glove save. He saw that one through traffic. Sandro able to make the biggest stop of the game so far.
Yeah, and Furion probably didn't get the aim on that he wanted. He was looking, obviously, for the far side there, catching Sandro sliding, but the glove save swallowed that up.
A big face-off win from Mullen, but he can't get the shot through. Antonio finds Afe, just directed it off a skate. 3.5 to play. Can Jyväskylä hold on to take a 1-0 series lead here? Puck dumped into the corner. Batu will recover. Domi has it. Sends it over to Antti. Good movement here again. Stepping in. Chance, and Elmari just not able to get that one through, but Indy wins it back again. Pass in front. Batu brings it around the back, trying to find the pass. It's just not there. 2 minutes to play now. Step in from Antonio. Loses it, but FBK quickly able to recover. Looking, one-timer deflection bid for Afe, but it's knocked down by the defender. Around the back of the net, quick movement from Elmari. 55 to play, and here come Jyväskylä, but a great job by Mullen tracking back. Quick out, Afe's there, pokes it away, just through the crease. What an opportunity. Sandro nearly got caught. An incredible chance there. We haven't seen it from Färjestad too much in this game, but Jyväskylä get away with one. Clock still ticking. We're down to 30 seconds. Antonio to Mullen. Too much traffic, but he still has the puck. Trying to fight forward in the corner. Goes back to the point. Opportunity shot on. Can't get through the traffic. Antti there again, but Antonio recovers. Still fighting for it. 15 seconds to play. Wraparound bid doesn't go. Sandro's down and out. Chance thrown off the side of the net. Still fighting for it. Opportunity, Fury, and shot, glove saved by Sandro with 5.5 remaining.
Wow, what a flurry of chances there from Färjestad. Somehow staying out of the net. Sandro, what a beast there. Flopping all around, doing his damnedest to keep the puck out of the net. He does so, picks up the shutout. And what a game that we just witnessed. Even though 2-0, it could have easily been 2-1 there, 2-2 at the tail end with the chances that Färjestad was getting. But I just want to say, Sandro was so quick to come out of the net on that Omaha attempt there. I think that's something that Jyväskylä had to have spoken about. You know, if the defensemen are sure they're going to get beat, or if the goalie sees it happening, maybe come out and try to play the puck. Almost backfired there, but good support from Jyväskylä to cover the net while he was out as well. It's just so close from Färjestad getting a goal right there. But excellently played at the same time, if a bit risky by Jyväskylä. They seem to have a plan for everything.
Absolutely. I mean, again, you talk about it, though, for a goaltender like Sandro. I mean, this is a season 1 original. He's been around. He's seen it all. And ultimately, again, he picks up the shutouts that moves him, I believe, just shy now. Of course, you talk about some of the best goaltenders of all time here, but he's someone who does have, I believe that's now his 41st career playoff shutout. So he's been here before. He's done it before. Crazy enough that doesn't even move him into the top 10. That's how crazy the goaltending has been at times. But an incredible job there from Jyväskylä. Again, you talk about it, Sin, what it was last season as well, how the playoffs happened to go for them. Certainly not what they wanted. Again, they lost in 5 to Färjestad, but they get that first win out of the way early, takes a little bit of pressure off in this best of 7. With that, though, we have a lot to talk about to set the stage for Game 2, but of course, we could not do so without hearing from our lovely sponsor, the people who have helped make this season happen and helped make it what it is. It is our lovely friends at Wilhelm.
Wilhelmin ykköskentän pakkeina uudet tulokkaat. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks.
We're joking. We're jiving. You never know what we're doing when we're off screen. We got caught, then. Our producer threw us under the bus harder than tackle control threw Virta under the bus. If you don't know what we're talking about, you missed the warm-up, and that's okay. Again, check out NHL Gamer on YouTube. You'll be able to see our full preview for, of course, the season that happened and the playoffs as well. Now, Sim, we talked about this matchup and how close it was going to be. And ultimately, again, an incredibly close first game. That really, I think, had we seen Färjestad play the way they did at the start of the third period, it would have been a much closer game, and I think that's the adjustment that we're going to see from them.
You know, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, if Färjestad can play the way that they played in that third period the entire game, they have a very, very good chance of evening this series up. They looked, I wouldn't say they looked too dangerous in the first 2 periods with their offensive chance. They were there. It was just too cute. They were looking, okay, you know, let's do a few more passes, look for that perfect one-time opportunity, the perfect quick shot from the slot. It just seemed like Jyväskylä, that's what they want. They'll keep you to the perimeter all day, and they trust Sandro to stop those short side opportunities. So when Färjestad looked the most dangerous is when they're pushing the envelope, shooting from everywhere, looking for rebounds, you know, strong in the puck. You got fast wingers in Afe and Antonio. That's great for puck retrieval off rebounds. So yeah, if they play like they played in that third period, they have an excellent chance here in Game 2 to knot this series up at 1 apiece.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, you look ahead to what this next game is going to be. It's a bit of a shame that we only get to see the first 2 games of this series. It almost is kind of like a head-to-head regular season battle as opposed to the playoffs. But of course, we'll see it progress throughout this week. And I think ultimately for Jyväskylä, there's really not areas where you have to be all that concerned about improvement. I'd say aside, you know, of course, you got into a little bit of penalty trouble, but you were able to shrug that off. I think as well, it was a slow start for Antti on the draws. He was able to battle back. Mullen was the better center in the regular season in terms of face-off winning percentage, so maybe that's not a little bit of a surprise. They have to be feeling very, very good right now after a performance like that. And again, I'm kind of reminded here from the preview show that we were able to talk about, but you look back to what Antti said, given you know, when he was asked the question about like, hey, how do you feel this season went and what it was? And again, we're reminded here, of course, the changes that were made to that lineup, and Antti saying as well, you know, hey, it takes time to get that chemistry going. I think we've seen it. The chemistry is on point consistently. Vatu and Indy looking very dangerous on the wings there as well. And for a team right now that acknowledges last year's collapse and what they have to do, I'd say they look very motivated. In fact, and it's tough to find a weakness in their game right now, Sin, at least off of that first game.
Yeah, it really seemed like they came out with a game plan, and they started from the puck drop, and it seemed like Färjestad had to try to adjust to that, and they didn't do so until it was too little too late. They're going to have to do that from the get-go here. You've seen it now. It's now time to say no excuses for Färjestad. I mean, you see what they want to do to stop your long stretch passes. They're going to want to forecheck. Okay, quick first pass. You might not be able to, you know, have that quick strike ability, but you can still set up rush plays if they're going to forecheck that hard. So it's just just about breaking that first layer with a strong forecheck like Jyväskylä showed. If they're going to have that strong forecheck, all you need to do, break that first layer, then with the speed of Afe and Antonio, you can start to wear down the rest of it, get some zone entries, get some offensive time, and again, continue what you did in the third period of shooting that puck just a little bit more. And yeah, Färjestad would have a really good look here in this second game.
All right, so here we go. We are just about ready to go. Färjestad, of course, in the white and green. You see them there. Black, white, and red, of course, of Jyväskylä, who have a 1-0 series lead now in this best of 7. Again, the first round matchup here in the Elite Division. The playoffs are underway. Of course, NHLGamer.com for all the information that you need, not just here in the Elite Division, but our 3 other tiers as well. Jyväskylä quickly in on the attack. Shot from the point, nearly caught McSavid off guard there. Quick attack, another chance, and a gigantic save by McSavid. 2 tremendous opportunities for Jyväskylä to start this game. So we thought we might see the hot start for Färjestad there. Not so much. Jyväskylä, 2 phenomenal chances to start this one off. They're back in possession here. They mistimed the zone entry. Maybe another face-off here just shy of the 2-minute mark. Again, a friendly reminder. The ECL, of course, over 50 sponsored teams amongst over 260. An incredible thing that we have going on here, of course. And again, you are watching 2 of the top 8 in the world going head-to-head here, and a good chance poked away. A couple of early offensive zone chances really for both teams. Färjestad not really there at this stage. Again, at least compared to the chances that we saw on the other side here for Jyväskylä. Good pressure here, though, from FBK. Malin just doesn't get the puck pickup. So again, right now, Jyväskylä a little bit further ahead. Of course, we are still very early on in this game, but it's worth noting with 2 teams like this, you have to look at every bit of action here. Pass across, Vatu quickly gets it back to the point. Domi again down low. It's Indy on his offhand. Circling around here, a bit too much space for Domi to work with. Finds Vatu, he gets it back at the point again. Domi looking, finds Antti. Again back to the point. They know what they're looking for, and they have plenty of time to try and find it. Antti looking, short side shot, blocker stopped by McSavid. Incredibly impressive zone time here for Jyväskylä, but you could argue for FBK, they're at least not giving their opposition what they want, so it doesn't look that good, but ultimately they were able to hold on. We see a dump and chase here, good pressure coming in from Malin. Domi having trouble, he survives it though. Jyväskylä looking to get right back in on the attack. Ilmari, trouble at the line, finds Vatu, can't get the shot off though, through Arubatas. First 10 minutes going to Jyväskylä for sure, but they have to find the breakthrough. They might find it here. Indy is passed off the mark there for Vatu on the other side. Sin, incredible pace to this one here. Still might not be able to help you get a word in. Opportunity banked off the side of the net. Puck recovered by Malin. Antonio able to find Furion, pinching in, drops back. Quick passes, shot on, blocked down in front by Ilmari again. Again, we'll see if Jyväskylä can work their way through here. Opportunity over the line. Indy drops back to Domi. They're running a lot of the offense through the left side defenseman here. And they do draw the trip, though. It's going to be Indy going to the box again. The aggressiveness backfires in this instance. We're going to see what FBK can do. Drop pass at the line was just off the mark. But again, we see FBK go to the power play.
Yeah, that drop pass looked good, but I don't think it fully crossed the blue line, unfortunately, which led to the stoppage there. Rough for McSavid, who had just gotten over to the bench. We're going to see that Färjestad power play get to work again. I'd like to see more movement and crisscrossing here.
They're keeping it at the line. Furion looking, gets it to Mal. Shot, scores! Quick pass over to Afe. Cynthia calls it as you sees it. Färjestad have the opening goal of this game. Sin, very similar to the last one where the opening team who really started firing on all cylinders early gets caught and gives up the first goal.
Yeah, and right there, it's Färjestad. I mean, great job right there on the power play. The cross between the defensemen at the blue line and then just, sneaking into the low slot with the pass and then one more pass across. That's just a great play right there, and this time it works out. It seems like that's a look they've been looking for quite a few times, especially in the last game. Except, either it just, he couldn't get the shot off, it was tipped or something, something didn't go right. But that time with the man advantage, Färjestad found it, Afe on the back door, and 1-0 for them. That's got to be a heartbreaking stop for Jyväskylä, how they looked early on.
Chance here for Antonio coming in, finds Mullen down low. Afe in front, just not able to get a piece of that one. You're absolutely right, though, Sid. They were looking for those opportunities. That is Afe's, by the way, 12th playoff goal in 12 games in the Elite Division. He might find another one there, but that was a great interception. One more time for Ilmari. We'll see how Jyväskylä respond to trailing as FBK get on the board after being shut out in game one. Turnover here. Furion able to recover quite well. See what Antonio can do on the breakout. A little bit of space here. Burst of speed and a miscommunication. A little bit surprised to not see the pass there to Afe. And
yeah, I think he was obviously he was surprised as well. Tried to stop himself at the last minute, but I think the logic from Rubitas there was that he had so much speed. If both he and Afe, who could accelerate a bit quicker, they could have maybe had a bit of an odd man there.
Good movement here from FBK again. Mullen brings it back down low. Tried to find Afe, just wasn't there. You can see this is where FBK wants to be. The behind the net setup. A couple of quick passes here, though, as we approach the final minute of play here in the first period. Again, the second game of two that we'll cover here in this broadcast before moving over to hREDS and Vesa Pompa. The first three games, the battle between 3 and 6. 20 seconds left. One more chance for Jyväskylä on the rush. Indy back for Omari. Tried to throw it in front. Nothing there. Indy recovers. The defenseman now tries to throw it in front. Nothing doing. So a very good start. 2 A-grade chances for Yip in the opening minute or so. Can't capitalize there. Remember those saves from McSaven. As it's Färjestad here, you'll get another look at it. The opening goal is from Afe.
Yeah, and that was just, we mentioned it before, really tic-tac play and something that they had been looking to set up, both 5-on-5 and the power play now. So if that starts clicking, you got to watch out for Jyväskylä. But yeah, you said it, they had those 2 huge chances at the beginning of the period. McSaven, a couple massive stops to prevent his team from going down early. That being said, Färjestad still doesn't have an answer to this Jyväskylä forecheck. It seems like on the breakout, they really want to slow it down, take their time to find the open passes, but Jyväskylä is simply not giving it to them. You can see there again, Färjestad, now it's from a lack of being able to get into the offensive zone. Only one shot. It does provide them with a goal, though. That's just not a sustainable presence to have on the shot chart. You're going to have to get more offense. You're going to have to get out of your zone a bit quicker here as we see that picture perfect goal happening. But yeah, Jyväskylä, keep doing what you're doing. They still had a great period despite being down in this one. I really liked their game. And with the forecheck, it really seems like it's giving Färjestad's breakout fits. So they're going to want to keep that pressure up throughout this second period.
Sin, so far, this is living up to the hype. This is kind of what we expected to see in the battle of 4 and 5, just how close this happens to be, at least in the first 4 periods of play. FBK back in on the attack here. Off a quick pass to Mullen. Again, you see the defense, and especially Antti pinching down from center to help his defense in front of goal. Really paying off right now for Jyväskylä. Domi loses it. Indy will recover. Quick pass amongst the forwards. Domi able to recover here. Loose puck again. FBK recovers. A little bit of space to work with. Antti trying to chase down Antonio, who does a great job of cutting in, but Domi saves the day. Full speed ahead back into his own zone to take that one away. Good movement again here. Broken play recovered. Indy just nowhere to go. Just couldn't get that shot off, or maybe a follow-up pass. A couple of close calls here for both teams in the attacking zone. Very quick pace to this one. Antonio dishes back to the point. Those passes on the mark here. Loose puck, kick saved by Sandro. Still fighting, shot, scores! Mullen in front. What a feed from Antonio. Sin, we called it. Broken plays might be the key, and they were there. Färjestad double it up. It's now 2-0 in their favor.
Yep, and that's another look that we saw Färjestad looking for so much in the last game. It didn't work out, and now they've got the offensive guns going. Perhaps a pass to Afe, but Mullen there on the backhand gets the in-tight chance on the short side, buries it. It is 2-0 now in favor of Färjestad. Exactly the start that they wanted, and the start that, if you're Jyväskylä, has to hurt. They had those 2 early chances in the first. They don't capitalize on it. Now you're down 2-0 here in the second. Time to step on the gas.
It's time to see how Jyväskylä respond to trailing in this situation. We saw how FBK weren't really able to get it going. Let's see what Yip can do in response. An interception there from Antonio. Smart move, just drop it back, keep the possession. Good movement here from them on the breakout, though. A little bit of trouble again at the blue line. Very close calls in that we've seen there. Just the tiniest of margins to just have that be offside.
Yeah, and both of the plays, if they worked, would have created an outnumbered situation down low against Jyväskylä there. So you really like to see that from Färjestad.
Good movement here from Domi to maintain possession through that one on. McSaven had a little bit of trouble with it. Loose puck is recovered there by Rubitas. Mullen able to find a little bit of space. Here's Afe, tried to kick it back out. You have to be so fast on the sticks to find space in these situations. Mullen back to Fury and gets it through. Blocker stop by Sandro. Puck still alive though. Afe has it. Maybe went for the wraparound. Just lost it there. Off of the stick contact. We are halfway through game 2. A 2-0 lead for FBK. Antti back to the point. Again, the quick movement with Domi. Trying to find somewhere to go. Has a couple of options. Antonio trying to bump him off the puck. Again, we don't see bumps too often in this division. More of a North American thing. That one sneaks in. Looks like it might be an own goal, but it was Vatu in front, and Jyväskylä are back within 1.
Yeah, and I think that was Furion right there going down on the L1 to sort of block the cross-crease pass. Ends up being a sauce, and I think it went right off of his butt right there and into the goal. That's a rough break for Färjestad. Not the greatest angle on that replay, but I'm sure we'll get a great look at it at the end of the period.
It is Antti's goal, the centerman credited with it. Jyväskylä back to within 1. One of those goals that just really kind of catches you off guard. Again, the play in the corner was more the focus. They tried the quick out. Afe going to be able to chase that one down. Back in front. Furion nowhere to go. A lot of speed there. Afe bumps a much larger man off the puck. Antonio tries to find Afe on the far side. Just not there. Let's see if Jyväskylä can turn this into sustained pressure. But again, the goal from Antti. He has the puck now. Feeds Domi. See where the defenseman happens to go. Back to Indy. Lateral movement here. Trying to find the space. Looking for the opening. FBK just not giving it to him right now. Domi tried to brute force it. Easy for me to say. Pass in front. Just poked away by Rubitas. He tried a backhand that's just not able to find its targets. And again, this ridiculous pace, given this commentator fits, incredibly difficult to deal with the speed of play that we're seeing here, but no complaints from me. What an incredible back and forth game we're seeing. Just over 2.5 minutes remaining. Turnover here. Vatu, a little bit of speed, but nowhere to go. Off the pad of McSaven. Recovered by the defense. Let's see what FBK can do here. 3-on-2 developing. Antonio to Afe. Back to Antonio. Good poke away by Domi. But still it's FBK in the zone. Opportunity for Rubitas. Back down low for Mullen. And again back to the point. Trying to pinch in. Fury and the one-timer. Kick save. Might not have gotten to him with as much heat as they were looking for. Final rush here for Jyväskylä. Domi works his way through, loses it on a skate. 3 seconds here. Afe over the line, has it poked away. Furion can't do anything either. And that will bring us to an incredibly fast-paced second period. 2-1 is your scoreline here heading into a very important third period.
Yeah, this third period is huge, and I mean, we talked about it in the pregame a bit. You know, it could come down to some bounces when you have some teams this evenly matched. Jyväskylä got an incredibly fortunate bounce on that goal that brought them within 1. That being said, they're still down in this game, and Färjestad is looking better than they were in game 1. And, you know, ever since the early pressure from Jyväskylä, they haven't been able to use that forecheck to their advantage. And, you know, Färjestad has made the adjustments to that aggression and are starting to get a lot more odd mans, which leads, you know, to Jyväskylä having to take that step back from the forecheck. So you can see it's kind of like a chess match happening now with both teams, you know, with those mental games, getting the edge in certain ways and, you know, forcing the other team to respect, you know, that aspect of the game that they can throw at you. And this is not the first one. I'm just waiting to see how that one went in because it was absolutely insane. We'll get a look at it here.
Hopefully, if they're able to move fast enough. See what happens as Antti has it, and indeed off the leg of Fury, and thought it might have been Vatu in front. Sin again, sometimes though, those are the goals that you need to go through if you're going to be able to make your way past a very difficult opponent and as evenly matched of an opponent as these two teams are facing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jyväskylä have to take that. You're only down by 1 when you could be down by 2. It's time to find a way to tie this game up.
Third period underway. Yep, down by 1, but in the attacking zone. Around the back of the net. Domi again at the point. So much space to work with here. Antonio not really pressuring him. One-timer, kick save, rebound, scores! Jyväskylä with an early goal. 1 minute and 40 seconds into the period. We are tied at 2. Indy has another one.
Yeah, and it was a great play right there. I believe it would have been deflected off the shot by the way the assists went, or maybe not. I'm not too sure. It does look like it went off the body as Ilmari actually got the secondary assist right there. Yeah, very interesting. Batted out of the mid-air. McSaven did all he could to get back for that. Actually, surprisingly, got back pretty quick, but it was a great play. Once again, Jyväskylä, an early pressure on the period. That's becoming a trend here. Färjestad doesn't seem to come out in the early goings with the heat that they need, and it led to them, costing them a goal. Tie game here.
Another early goal here. Chance for FBK. Malin Tojak scores! What a response from FBK. The individual effort from Malin. And they restore the lead. What a response.
Yeah, what a response indeed. Happened so quickly. The analysis was almost still going right there, just off the face-off. Mullen, what a play. You said it. Toe drag shot, top shelf. Sandro just maybe not expecting the shot that quick. That being said, what a shot it was, restoring that lead. Quick strike to quick strike. We're barely 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes into the period.
An incredible turn of events between these two teams. And we said it, expect the unexpected. Another chance for FBK. Malin with nowhere to go on that one. Let's see what Yip's response happens to be. Again, trailing by 1. Big hit there. Pass over. Malin again, nowhere to go. Off the feed from Afe. Antonio trying to win that one back. Just not able to get a piece of it. Incredibly fast movement from Jyväskylä here. A little bit of trouble for Antonio, but great patience. Rubitas stepping in, gains the line back to Fury. In trouble there, though. Indy has the step, but Batu will take it before dropping it back to the winger. Indy looking, tried to feed it across there for Antti, nowhere to go. And here comes FBK, poked away. Afe not able to hold on to it. Again, now just 6.5 minutes gone into this third period. We've already seen a goal apiece. Here's Vatu. Again, back to Domi. Able to pinch in front for Antti. Just didn't find its way to the intended target. Domi, good interception. Back chance. Again, doesn't find its way through. Still in traffic. Indy throws it across. Vatu throws it on. Scores! It sneaks in. Jyväskylä have tied it at 3 apiece of all the goals to go in. It's that one from the boards. Vatu has his second of the night.
Wow, I mean, back and forth here in the third period, and unfortunately, once again, he doesn't give a point, but that doesn't happen without Domi. He got the zone entry, looked good on the initial chances, kept the puck in with the play on the half boards, cutting off the breakout pass, and he was instrumental keeping that in. Jyväskylä that on a sort of a fluky goal once again that sneaks in short side off of a kind of a Hail Mary shot.
And Box Art in chat said it best. That is why you get pucks on net sometimes. As good as it is to look for those high-quality chances, you never know what's going to happen. But here's FBK now. We've seen them respond in kind. Let's see what they can do. Malin trying to find Fury, and you can tell, and he does. Defenseman pinches down and in, throws it in front. Shot blocked down. Sandro might have gotten a piece of it. Regardless, he's able to cover. There'll be an offensive zone draw here for FBK.
Yeah, and a good look there for Färjestad as they tried to get, they sent the pass out front. Antonio, calculated move there, not immediately shooting, just delaying a bit, seeing if he could catch Sandro off guard and oversliding.
Here comes Vatu again, trying to gain the line. He does. Indy tried to feed the center, just a little bit off the mark, too much heat on that one. We are tied at 3 again. The first round matchup, the quarterfinals of the Elite Division playoffs. Battle of 4 and 5. This one is close as advertised. Indy passes it back. Interesting decision there. Don't think he really expected to get it. Antti over to Omari. Back down for Indy again. Forced off by Furian. Quick out. off the back of Antti there. Might have caught him in the face somehow, just an odd angle. But a fortunate bounce there, we will say, for Jyväskylä. Trouble there at the line, though. Indy turns it over. Malin, good protection, finds Afe. Back to the point, gets it back again, nowhere to go. And the attempt to turn in front, just over 5 minutes to play. God help our voices by the end of this cast if they have to go to overtime here. We still got 3 more games in this broadcast, again, between hREDS and Vesa Pompa. See what happens here now. 4 minutes to play. Antonio not able to hold it at the line. Cut back here. Furion will drop it all the way back. FBK willing to take their time, maybe get some energy back. Tremendous sauce pass there, but again, just a fraction of an inch, maybe a centimeter is more appropriate for who we're primarily broadcasting for. Another very close offside call there, Sid.
Yeah, and it seems like Färjestad has those in mind. You know, the stop plays at the blue line to drop passes there, they're just not connecting right now. But there's a similar story to those, you know, the goals that they scored here. Those plays just weren't connecting in the last game. Perhaps they'll get that figured out as the series goes on.
Offside call here with 2:04 remaining. Again, tied at 3. An incredible pace to this game. Jyväskylä taking the first game by the score of 2-0. This one equally even more so close than that first one happened to be. FBK gained the line here. Malin trying to fend off the pressure. He does, just can't get that pass off. Good team defense here from Yip. We are in the final minute of play here. Loose puck. Antti recovers, shot on, deflected wide. Indy recovers along the half wall and gets it back to the point. Ilmari tries to send it back down low. Bounced off a skate. It's FBK back in possession. Final minute of play here. Antonio, too much pressure there, but he's able to regain it. Great poke check there by Domi. The defensive skill stick working out. Fakes the quick out. 35 to play. Jyväskylä trying to gain the zone. Great job there to open up space for Ilmari. He protects well. Finds Antti in front for Vatu. What an opportunity. That fast, the tide can turn. But McSavid was there to make the stop.
Yeah, huge stop. Now Färjestad, they need to get this face-off win, get the puck out. We know what Jyväskylä can do with zone time and what they can do off face-off plays.
That play, big blocker save. Sin calling it. Picture perfect here today. Turned over, Vatu regains it, gets Dante's shot, doesn't go. Great chances again here for Jyväskylä. Final 10 seconds, 3-on-2 here for Färjestad. Malin looking, overshot, wouldn't find the back of the nets. 3 seconds, Domi kills the clock. We are going to overtime. This series living up to the hype. It's Jyväskylä and Färjestad in the playoffs. It doesn't get any better than this, man. This is unreal.
Wow. That either hit the post or the side of the net. Either way, Antonio must be shaking his head, looking skyward right there. A chance to win it in the dying moment. Something that we see so often in the ECL. I mean, just those late, heartbreaking goals. Almost goes away with Färjestad right now, but not quite. And they've got to feel like Lady Luck is stabbing them in the back a little bit right now. That being said, they have chances to bear it. They still have a chance to win it. If Jyväskylä go up 2-0, I mean, it's still close. If you're Färjestad, you still got to feel good about the way you're playing. But that being said, you will be down 2-0. They have to find a way to get this goal and win this game. You don't want to go down 2-0 to a team as good as Jyväskylä, who really are looking to get some revenge and have all the motivation in the world after what happened last season.
Again, a friendly reminder, this is the second and final game of this coverage here of this series today. Again, after this, there'll be a brief intermission, and we'll pick up our coverage of 3-seed hREDS taking on 6-seed Vesa Pompa. Although an update from another series going on right now, our number 1 seed in Philadelphia have a 2-0 series lead on the 8th seed in Northern Ascendancy. For those of you that are looking to keep track of everything going on here. Overtime is underway. We play until we have a winner. How long will it take is the question. You never quite know in these overtimes. Sim, we've had some triple overtime thrillers. We've had some OTs end in the first couple of minutes here. Good pressure from FBK, but they can't win it back. Here comes Yip. Domi with space, with speed. Pass over, goes through the crease from the looks of it. What a chance for Vatu. Tremendous play there from Domi, Sim.
Yeah, and once again, all rivers run through Domi. He's just a catalyst for defense, for offense, everything for this Jyväskylä team.
Great play by Mullen, just lost the puck, tried to brute force his way to the slot. And you see Antti forced to drop it back to Domi once more. Finds Indy, great possession play there. Finds Antti, gets it back, good movement here from Jyväskylä. Shot deflection, chance there for Vatu on the doorstep, just couldn't get a piece of it with Rubitus in his face. Quick out, big hit there from Ilmari. Trouble for Antonio. He does a great job as well of protecting the puck and keeping it away. Domi trying to win that one back there from Rubitus. Afe will chase it down in the corner. Good movement, good cycle work. Rubitus, he knew they were looking for that one-time defense. To get it back down low, still fighting for it. They recover. Rubitus looking, circles back, drops down low to Antonio around the back. Mullen to Afe, just couldn't get a piece of it. Ilmari was there. Every chance feels like it has the opportunity to end this game. Equally important goal for both sides. Shot just couldn't find its way through the traffic. Indy found that little bit of space again, a little bit higher up than where we've seen him score from before. Domi, the big pickoff opportunity here. Holding, throws it off the side of the net on the opportunity once more. Chance here for Mullen again, trying to run his way through. It's just not there. Jyväskylä looking like they have that little bit of extra momentum right now. Trying to work it around the neutral zone to find space, and they do. Antti shot on, rebound, scores! Vatu is there, throw the puck on net, and good things can happen. Jyväskylä take it in overtime on the comeback effort, and they take a 2-0 series lead.
Wow, just a great, I mean, again, that's what we talked about so often through here. The chat acknowledged it as well. If you throw the puck on net, good things happen right there. It's a rebound that Vatu is able to clean up to get the game-winning goal here. And speaking of cleanup, looked like he was sweeping the floor with that stick action as well. But yeah, if you're Färjestad, that hurts. You had a lead multiple times in this game. Some bounces didn't go your way again, but at the same time, there were opportunities there to end it. There were opportunities to defend well, and Jyväskylä seemed to just be the better team when it mattered. And they now have a 2-0 series lead. And if you're looking back for Färjestad, you're looking back at the first 2 periods of that first game and being like, why didn't we shoot? Where was our game at? We could have won that, but, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Hindsight's always 20/20. Jyväskylä up 2-0, and I don't know if Domi got a point, but he was absolutely incredible for Jyväskylä on all sides of the ice. He just looked so confident with the puck, made so many things happen, and once again, just, you know, led his team to victory here in Game 2.
So a gigantic victory there for Jyväskylä, again losing in last year's first round matchup against FBK, 4-1. But now they're able to gain. They grab what they couldn't in that series last year. That is a second win, let alone a 2-0 series lead for Jyväskylä right now. You have to feel good. I mean, for the most part, you know, you look at the goals there for Färjestad. I think those are a little bit easier to try to clean up to avoid these. I mean, again, those are just really solid goals, all things considered. And again, you look at that goal right there. That is a heartbreaker for McSavid. But an incredible job there. Like you said, I mean, whether or not Domi really appears on the score sheet, that's one of those situations that you look at. And again, he was fantastic. Ilmari as well. We questioned how well defensively he would be able to hold up and, you know, fend off Afe. And from, you know, I mean, all things considered, aside from the one goal, he did an incredible job. So again, for Jyväskylä, you have to be feeling incredible right now. You get the 2 wins out of the way. I think the aspects of your game that you need to clean up, those adjustments that you have to make, are going to be a little bit easier to make when you know you're not trailing 2-0. And again, for FBK right now, again, you have tomorrow off. We'll see ultimately what Wednesday brings and whether or not they're able to bounce, you know, to really get the bounces to go their way and to get back into this series. Still a long way to go in a best of 7. But yeah, ultimately not, I think, the performance that they were looking for offensively in the first game and then defensively in the second one. They just slipped up, I think, a little bit more than they would have preferred. But Sin, with that, we again will go to a very, very brief intermission, because on the flip side of that break, we have 3 more games to cover here for you today. It is, again, the 3 seed in hREDS taking on the 6 seed in Vesa Pompa. Another very interesting matchup. We'll break it all down for you once we're back again after this quick word from our lovely sponsor, Wilhelm. And again, a very, very brief intermission.
Wilhelmin ykköskentän pakkeina uudet tulokkaat. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.
And we are back a little bit later than expected. We apologize for the delay, but Sin, that's one of those things that can happen when you have two teams playing an incredibly fast-paced style of play through our first two games, despite the overtime. Those games finishing a little bit earlier than a lot of games normally do. So we were trying to work it out behind the scenes to see if we could jumpstart the beginning of our next series. But again, for those of you that joined us for those first two games, again, between Färjestad and Jyväskylä, we thank you for that. And again, NHLgamer.com for all the information that you need to continue to follow along with not only that series, but of course, every series that we have going on. And the good thing for you, of course, is that Sin and I are here to cover not just the first two games, but the first three games of Vesa Pompa and hREDS. Sin, let's take a look at the standings, the regular season standings, to see where these two teams finish. Again, the third seed and the sixth seed. The story for hREDS, of course, a team last year that looked primed to make it a big three instead of a big two. And now you look this year as well, they have that same goal. They tied Havu for the top offense in the league. And of course, for Vesa Pompa as well, their story, they finished in 11th last year, despite the fact that they were tied, I do believe, or 1 point back of the 8th seed that season. This year, though, they make the playoffs, convincingly so, by at least 4 points there, but they have a very, very big challenge ahead of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hREDS, they got top skaters all over the place in their forwards, their defensemen. They have, a great goaltender as well. Their offense is just off the chain this season. So Vesa Pompa going to have to be great defensively in phases. May have to stand on his head at times.
Absolutely. And again, actually, let's bring you to that if we can. The top 10 skaters in the league. We might as well show you what Sin is talking about there while he brought it up. And of course, you see there for hREDS, Yoki and Benito, the top 2 point getters in the league this season. And of course, their other forward member there, Nikki Dangles, was also in the top 10. Of course, we'll get a little bit more into those breakdowns as well. And if we can, actually, the top 10 defensemen, screw it, because we have 2 more hREDS there at the top of the standings in King of Apes and Teemu. Nobody up there for Vesa Pompa, so you kind of see the battle that we're going to have here and the uphill battle that Vesa Pompa have. And of course, as well here, let's get you a look at the updated bracket as it stands. A lot to throw at your face here to really get set up for this matchup. But again, off of this stream, again, we talked about it. Philadelphia having a 2-0 lead over 8th seed Northern Ascendancy. Back-to-back 2-0 wins there. So Philadelphia, a team that was really looking to improve defensively year in and year out, and that just smothering style of defense, no response for Northern Ascendancy so far. And of course, you saw it on this broadcast just a few moments ago. Jyväskylä, off the back of a 2-0 win and then an overtime victory, have a 2-0 lead on Färjestad. So with that, let's take a look at the team stats here. It is hREDS against Vesa Pompa, the battle of 3 and 6, and Sin, obviously, the offensive differential there is the key.
Yeah, 106 goals for hREDS, just 62 for Vesa Pompa, who ended the year surprisingly in 6th place with an even goal differential, 62 for, 62 against. Decent power play, not the strongest of penalty kills here. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do here in the playoffs. I mean, it might be surprising to many, as they end up as the 6th seed with with a sort of differential like that, considering we had teams who scored more goals than them miss out on the playoffs. So it's just sometimes it's when you score those goals that could be a factor. Maybe we see a clutch factor coming out from Vesa Pompa here.
So with that, let's take a look here at the team lineups, which features a somewhat surprising change for the Vesa Pompa lineup. We weren't exactly sure what team they were going to run with here, and unfortunately, it really is a bad sign for them. I mean, the front three are still the same of Villapoika, Ekin, and Jurgeli. But on defense, we've seen it all season long on that left-hand side. Sebi Larsson is the guy that has, led to, not to disrespect Sparka Romberg, but Sebi Larsson's been the guy that's really brought this lineup together. They have a better record with him in the lineup. Unfortunately, he is not available to them today. A 22 games played marker for Sebi Larsson, so just the 8 for Sparka Romberg as he steps in to the lineup today alongside the captain Laminens. And of course, it is the rookie in phase between the pipes. And then, of course, on the flip side for hREDS, you are basically familiar with the entirety of their lineup after looking at the top 10 forwards and defensemen. It is Yoki, the captain Benito, and Nicky Dangles with Teemu and King of Apes on defense. Fincona between the pipes. Sin, let's get into these individual breakdowns here. Although to note this as well, the season series that we had, hREDS swept Vesa Pompa with a 4-2 win and a 2-0 win. hREDS nearly doubled their time on attack in those games, 17-9. So as if you didn't have that bigger uphill battle, you certainly do now. So let's go into those individual breakdowns. We'll start off with the centers. Again, it is Ekin against Benito. And Sin, Ekin being over a point a game, good numbers. And then there's Benito.
Yes. What? This is a center, and he's over 2 points per game. Led the way for the entire league in assists with 55. Second in total points with 77. First on his in the league in power play goals with 6. And oh, by the way, he also leads his team in takeaways with 78. This is what you want out of a center. If you're a guy who can put up points, is responsible defensively, and has a great face-off percentage, almost at 54, 53.6. Ekin has his work cut out for him. Not as good on the face-off dot. He is point per game there, and while we have looked at him as a good defensive center, this is a huge matchup where he just seems, to just be outmatched on paper. We'll see how he performs on the sheet, though.
We said hREDS were looking to take that step up, and they definitely have in the offensive category. Let's move over to the battle of the wings here. For Vesa Pompa, we have Villapoika and Jyväskylä. On the flip side, it is Yoki and Nicky Dangles against him. We talked about it in the warm-up, which, again, for those of you who were not able to catch that, of course, youtube.com/NHL Gamerson and I, of course, doing a full season recap and a playoff primer if you happen to miss that. But one of our key talking points there, Nicky Dangles, this is his lowest point total in his 3 seasons worth of elite level play. He was still at 2 points per game, as insane as that is, Sin.
Yeah, the hREDS offense is just ridiculous, as we've talked about. We saw, and when you look at Vesa Pompa, yeah, the points may not be there, but you have someone in Jyväskylä who led his team in goal scoring and also had a 42.6 shot accuracy. He's very deadly when he chooses to shoot. It always seems to be at a great time. Tied for 4th in the league in game winners with 8, and also a physical presence, 120 hits, good enough for 9th throughout all the skaters here. So he's really going to be someone that, Vesa Pompa is going to have to put the saddle on in a lot of ways to get something started for this team.
And looking over to at the battle of the defense, again for Vesa Pompa, we see Sparka Romberg in the playoff lineup here. Just 8 regular season games with 3 points. Unfortunately, sticks out like a sore thumb next to Laminens, who had the 22 and a full 30-game season for the captain. But then defensively is where it stands out. So many talking points here. And of course, Sin, King of Apes, 16 goals in the regular season, a new record for defensemen in the ECL. Incredible point totals here.
Yeah, I mean, the next closest defenseman in scoring to him is J-Tor with 10 goals. So that just goes to show you the kind of season that King of Apes has had. He's going to want to try to duplicate that performance, at least in some regard here in the playoffs, as he just, it just went off. And again, there's Teemu up there too with 32 points over point per game. It's just everyone on hREDS can score. Everyone's a threat, and they're not too bad defensively either. This is a strong team, and Laminen's really on paper the only offensive threat. We're going to see what Sparka Romberg can do. Yeah, you said it. This is just a tough matchup for Vesa Pompa, especially with the lineup change here. They got their work cut out for them.
That they do. And of course, with that, we bring it over to our final head-to-head matchup. It is the battle of the goaltenders. As for Vesa Pompa, we see again the rookie in phase in the lineup here. Again, somebody who's only in his 2nd ECL season in general, played in our lowest tier in Neo last year, comes up to the elite division and puts up, again, an 80% save percentage, one of just 6 or 7 goaltenders. I think it was 7 goaltenders to post at least an 80% save percentage on the season. On the flip side, Finn Kona is there, somebody else who has a lot of pressure on his shoulders, Sin, coming over, or he was already on this team, I should say, coming over. He's a full-time starter this year is the point I'm trying to make, because, again, last year they had Nikke between the pipes for the 18 games in the regular season and all 12 playoff games last year. He drops down to pro due to some military service requirements, so Finn Kona was outright the guy this year. He is the full-time starter. And again, some very strong numbers and a 7 shutout, tally that in some years would have been good enough to lead the league.
Yeah, absolutely. But, Kape went off and decided that he wanted almost half of his games to be shut out. So kudos to him. But yeah, FaZe is the guy right here that Vesa Pompa is really going to need to depend on. I mean, a team as strong as hREDS offensively, they're going to get their chances. You need your goaltender to make some crazy saves. We've seen FaZe be able to do it throughout the course of the regular season. He's going to have to do it here and maybe even steal a game or two if Vesa Pompa want a chance to advance here.
Now, again, a thing to note as well, Vesa Pompa winning 5 of their last 7 games heading in to the playoffs, including a split against Jyväskylä, who, of course, we just saw in action not all that long ago. hREDS, though, Sin, 13-1-1 in their last 15 games. Both of those losses came to SJ, who are not in the playoffs, so they don't have to worry about that. So, again, hREDS on an incredible run as of late. With that, of course, we have our 3 keys to success for both teams before getting into the action here. It looks like both teams are just about ready to go here, so we're going to give them the go-ahead. We'll try to run down through these here as they load into the action. So our keys here for Vesa Pompa. First up, Sin, shots, shots, shots. The numbers don't paint a pretty picture for VP. In the regular season, they averaged only 8.8 shots for per game, the 3rd worst in the league and the 2nd fewest amongst playoff teams. Meanwhile, hREDS averaged the 3rd most at 13.3. So again, averaging more than 5 shots, or just about 5 shots more for per game. And the shots against as well don't paint a pretty picture. Vesa Pompa allowing over 10 per game, hREDS at only 8. So we'll see how VP are able to respond to this. Second point here, you're going to need a bit more discipline. Jyväskylä, their best player when he's on the ice, had 26 penalty minutes in the regular season, which was tied for 6th most. He needs to cut down on those. Vesa Pompa need him in the lineup. And then, of course, our last point here, and I can't take credit for this one either. Shout out to the crease, please, for this one. Phase or unfazed, as Vesa Pompa will really need to block shots and limit the pressure on their rookie goaltender, who needs to be on his A game, to say the least. And again, we're just about ready to go, but I think you have time to break down the 3 keys for hREDS.
Yep. So first starting out here is the dynamic duo, Yoki and Benito, top 2 in the league in points. That's not only a huge accomplishment for them, but a huge accomplishment considering the consistency of scoring we've seen from the likes of Havu and Philadelphia. Here in the playoffs, you cannot slow down. The second point here, maybe even more of a dynamic duo, is back on the points. Yeah, sure, they have 5. It seems like they have 5 forwards out there at times, with King of Apes leading all defensemen in the offensive numbers, and Teemu quietly leading all defensemen in assists and was 2nd among all D-men in points behind King of Apes. What a crazy stat that is for your defensive core. Last one here is Finn Kona. Get some respect around here. Finn Kona, a quiet season in net, needs a bit of recognition. All the tacos, the likes of Kape, McSavid, FaZe. Finn Kona had 7 shutouts, which you alluded to in the beginning, and that would often be good enough here. But Kape, of course, had a crazy season. But Finn Kona gonna be on his A game here in this series.
Finn Kona gets some respect around here. You got to say it with some oomph, with some emphasis. We'll see how this one plays out. The teams are just about ready to go. You see them there in the locker room, ready to go. Of course, Vesa Pompa will be rocking the white hREDS in the clearly blue and green hREDS and the red. Come on now. Of course, it's what you expect here. Sim, we can't really get a look at the player types here, unfortunately, much to your chagrin, but we pretty much know what to expect. Of course, a lot of the go-to builds, especially on the European side of things. And it's something that's always questioned amongst the North American side, is so many puck movers and playmakers. But again, it just feeds into what the European style is. Of course, we don't see the bumps as much. But again, those puck-moving defenseman builds, we see so much of them, certainly can get the job done. The most versatile build for a reason. Sin, it's a rough matchup for Vesa Pompa. I mean, what do you expect from them here? I mean, how does this first 10 minutes go? Do you try to pick up the pace and strike early, or do you try to slow down that tempo for a very dynamic offense on the other side?
Yeah, you're going to have to find a way to figure out what kind of game you want to play and try your best to impose that upon hREDS. That being said, that's going to be an incredible, difficult task. I mean, hREDS has just been so strong offensively here, but I think for Vesa Pompa, it's going to start in the defensive end. If you can frustrate and stifle those forwards, you'll have a shot to really, counterattack and get your own stuff. I mean, with how strong they were throughout the year offensively, you never know what happens if that scoring begins to drive up. Frustration can set in.
Puck drop underway here. There you go. The lineups on your screen now. The early offside call. We give a little bit of a break to our producer there as we have had it turned around for what team is going to be your host. But of course, it is Vesa Pompa, so they will be going up throughout these three matchups. hREDS going down on your screen here. So again, Vesa Pompa, let's see what they can do going up against the league's, or at least tied for the league's best offense this season with our defending champions in Havu. Sparka Romberg trying to find a little bit of space. He finds Vesa Pompa, who can't get the shot off. Big poke check from Yoki. Burst of speed, but a great shot there from Laminens to knock that one down. And it regains possession here for Vesa Pompa. Big stretch pass. A little bit of space here for Jyväskylä. The big cut shot on. Doesn't go. Second chance for Ekin. What a play from Jyväskylä. Highlight real effort there. Nearly found the opening goal. That would have been incredible. See what hREDS can do here. Good movement entering the zone. Back again. Nicky Dangles feeds it down low to Benito. Looking for space. Running into trouble. Gets it back up to the D. Jyväskylä nearly walked away with it again. We called him Vesa Pompa's best player. Their MVP on the season. Or at least FaZe was up there as well. Not sure who we named MVP. It very well could have been Jyväskylä, and justifiably so. Again, Vesa Pompa, a solid team as well. Again, a team that was really unfortunate to miss the playoffs last year. And again, looking so strong right there. As we have a little bit of a skip there, but we are good to go. Of course, your heart skips a beat every time you see a little bit of a skip. You always hope to not see perhaps a disconnect, but we are good to go. Puck in the Vesa Pompa zone. Fighting hard for it is Yoki. Won't be able to come up with this one. Poked off of the stick of Laminens. Nicky Dangle's able to take that one away. Holding it in the zone. Tamu sends it down. Pass in front doesn't go. King of Apes tries to throw one on. No space there. Poked up. Jyväskylä has it again. 5 members of hREDS back, though. No help for him, but Vesa Pompa is still fighting for it. Laminens tried to throw it in front. Intercepted by Tamu again. Very fast-paced action, and a trip is drawn. Great job there. hREDS go to the power play.
Yeah, kind of a rough one there for Sparka Romberg, who goes to the box on the trip. He had the body position, looked and jumped up a little too much, got the stick into the feet, but a good win right there. Jyväskylä clears it down. But Vesa Pompa don't want to go to a box against a team this potent. I mean, their power play 6th around the league, but without many scoring forwards, they're gonna make you pay eventually.
One of the more surprising stats on the season. Shot scores! King of Apes does what he does best. Sets the records for goals amongst defensemen in a season and starts off the playoff campaign with a quick one. Sin, I was going to say, one of the more surprising things about hREDS with the power play struggles. What power play struggle?
Yeah, some of that things just seems to go by the wayside. Stats and figures. I mean, when you get to the playoffs, throw them all out. This is a new season, and what a quick strike right there from hREDS. After the nice clear of Vesa Pompa, we might have another one.
Chance here. Yoki trying to cut through. Sparka Romberg passes it back in front. Second chance. Nicky Dangles nowhere to go. Good recovery there for Sparka Romberg. Sin is developing on both sides throughout this one. Don't think it was don't think you have to be an expert to say Vesa Pompa need to stay out of the box. Good chance there for Vilipoika. Has it back, finds Jyväskylä down low, tried to bank it off the side, still has it shot, and a big kick save there from Fintona. Vesa Pompa still getting some opportunities, not what Vilipoika would have wanted there though. See the slow, methodical pace here for hREDS. Good poke check there by Ekin. not able to get possession, but at least able to slow down the hREDS attack. Again, that goal from defenseman King of Apes. Able to bury that one again after a 16-goal regular season. Incredible for a defenseman. Somebody who has gotten more of a full-time spot in this lineup, was an in-house replacement. And Sin, you can see why he has thrived this season.
Yeah, and we saw him at times in the last season when he did step in. Always seemed to be a difference maker out there, and what an exciting time for him to get full-time lineup and then do what he did.
Jyväskylä off the spin, not able to get the pass to Ekin. See what Teemu can do here. Taking his time, circles back. Only 4 minutes remaining here in the first period. Again, incredibly quick pace to the playoff matchups we've seen so far today as Nicky Dangles tries to chase that one down. Help arrives from Benito. Sparker Romberg, I hate to say it, Sim, but it looks like he is almost being targeted already on that left-hand side. Very smart move from hREDS as Vesa Pompa nowhere to go. Laymanens takes the hit. Chance here. Teemu tries to sauce it over to Nicky Dangles. Just wasn't there. Again, now down to 2 minutes. Jyväskylä forced to drop that one back.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're hREDS, you're smart enough. There's a new guy in the lineup. You have to target him, at least to test him. And now they've noticed, he took kind of a penalty that you don't want to take, and they're really seeming to put the pressure on him.
And again, only 8 games played out of 30 in the regular season. Puck on. And FaZe is able to cover that one. 26 seconds to go. Big face-off coming up here at the end of the first period.
Yeah, huge face-off. We know hREDS have some ridiculous set plays, so we'll see if they can get one going right here.
Tie up on the draw. Still fighting for it. Benito comes up with it. Throws it back to Nicky Dangles. Yoki tries to go back to the point. It's off the mark. That will bring us to the end of the first period there. So a couple of opportunities for Vesa Pompa. Jyväskylä showing off some of the handles that he has, but not able to find the back of the net. hREDS able to do so on the man advantage. And again, you'll see that goal once again here. It was King of Apes, 1-0 hREDS.
Yeah, and I think that chance from Jyväskylä was really Vesa Pompa's only high-danger chance. Now, they had a couple other looks that would have been good, but they just seemed to, someone wasn't quite in position to take the shot, or the pass was a little bit off. Vesa Pompa just a little bit behind the 8-ball, so to speak, right now in the beginning. And, good news is they're only down by 1, so we saw some bounces in the first 2 games of the previous series we covered between FBK and Jyväskylä. Perhaps we will see some going in Vesa Pompa's favor right now. That being said, it did seem like hREDS, for the most part, dictated the pace. Even though they only had that one shot, there was a lot of neutral zone possession that I saw hREDS having, looking for those the break-ins to take shape. Couldn't quite do it at times. Pretty good blue line stand from Vesa Pompa, but again, they're not able to have the puck in the opposing zone either. So, some chess battle playing out so far in that first period, but the advantage goes to hREDS on that power play goal.
So for those of you, again, who missed our first 2 games of this broadcast, again, Jyväskylä have a 2-0 lead on 4-seed Färjestad after a 2-0 win in a 4-3 win in overtime. And the other series going on right now, our number 1 seed in Philadelphia have a 3-0 series lead already on 8th seed Northern Ascendancy. Back-to-back 2-0 wins. And the most recent game, a 4-3 final in overtime. So NA putting up a fight, but they just haven't been able to match the number 1 seed in Philadelphia. Again, this is our battle. 3-seed hREDS against 6-seed Vesa Pompa. hREDS back in the attacking zone here. King of Apes down in the corner, tried to throw it back in front. Intercepts it here. And again, a follow-up pass just a little bit off the mark. Perhaps a little bit of space for Villapoika. Just doesn't have the speed to work his way through, and it's hREDS trying to get back in on the attack, but they mistime it at the line. And Sim, we've seen that a couple of times already for hREDS being thrown offside.
Yeah, a little bit. It seems like, someone jumps in and the pass is just a bit later. They're not too sure. They weren't quite ready for it. We're going to have to clean that up here because Vesa Pompa is a good enough team to make you pay for those sort of mistakes.
So Nicky Dangles has it down low for hREDS. Finds Benito, throws in the front. Loose puck still there for Yoki. And somehow hREDS don't find pay dirt there. Nicky Dangles has it. Tried to go back to Yoki once more. Good defense from Sparker Romberg trying to fend him off. Able to get it to Jyväskylä, but there's just so much pressure from hREDS as they win it back. Big step-up hit there. Here's Jyväskylä with a step. 2-on-2, maybe 3-on-2. Jyväskylä trying to fend off the pressure from Teemu, and ultimately not able to do so. Great defense there for hREDS, but again, a little bit mistimed at the line, and they're forced to slow things down.
Yeah, hREDS having a bit of trouble with their passing right now, but Teemu on that defensive play was huge. I mean, Jyväskylä with the self-sauce to try to gain space. Notice he couldn't, went with the puck protect, and Teemu would not lay off him, kept bumping him until he got that turnover.
See Villapoika as well, another offside call. Watch Villapoika for Vesa Pompa on that left-hand side, green icon, of course. You see him upping the physical game a little bit more. And again, as well, you talk about Villapoika, someone who is, again, top 10 in goals scored. Maybe not the season he was looking for, but 17 goals. He's on the puck here. 17 goals in a 30-game regular season. Drops it back to the point. Quick D to D, back again. Shot deflect, scores! It's Ekin who gets a piece of it. Sin, we saw it in the first 2 games of this broadcast. Put the puck on, and good things can happen. Quick D to D work from Vesa Pompa, and Ekin has their opening goal of the playoff campaign.
Yep, and that's what Vesa Pompa has been doing. They had more registered shots, even with slightly less time on attack in that first period. They go back to the well here, taking a shot from the point. Great deflection there, and that's what you're going to have to do. It's now a tie game, so hREDS looking for, those more higher percentage plays. What has it gotten to them to? It's only they only have 1 goal, and they're tied here. They're going to have to try maybe some of the same as Vesa Pompa.
Let's see how hREDS responds, and we have also gotten word Philadelphia and Northern Ascendancy are going to play the 4th game of their series already. So we will have an update throughout this broadcast as to whether or not our number 1 seed has already punched their ticket to the 2nd round. We'll see what Northern Ascendancy can do against the former champions. Under 8 minutes remaining here in the 2nd period. Again, game 1, Vesa Pompa and hREDS here. The opening night for the playoffs, an offside call there as well. We have seen plenty of those so far, as both teams really able to stifle one another a little bit more. And I think that's the difference that we saw in the matchup of 4 and 5 with FBK and Yip, is that they were a lot more willing. It's a loose puck here, recovered by Ekin. Chance backhand, couldn't get the shot on. What a great chance. These 2 teams aren't as willing to do those lateral passes in the neutral zone to find the space, is at least what I've been noticing so far.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely want to try to get those quick strikes. That being said, Vesa Pompa almost with another one here, and hREDS got to be careful. Vesa Pompa's finding a little bit of space here, and they're really starting to make it pay. It almost seems like hREDS wasn't taking them as seriously as he saw Ekin there, maybe hoping for the Omaha pass, and now hREDS in a bit of trouble here in a tie game. They're going to have to get their offensive guns going again.
Much better period of play for Vesa Pompa so far. There you see the more lateral movement, but it's off the mark. Great job by Jyväskylä, not able to get the pass back from Lehmanen's. Puck on net. A little bit of trouble for Finn Kona there, but he's able to cover.
Yeah, I got to say, there has been some strange bounces thus far in the playoffs for us, and it's just we're in our 3rd game being covered, so pretty ridiculous things happening right now. We'll see if Vesa Pompa can win this faceoff, sustain some pressure.
Jyväskylä has it, tries to throw it back in front. Shot on from Lehmanen's, doesn't go. Nearly taken away by Nicky Dangles for the breakaway. Is it King of Apes on the offside, able to recover the puck here, drops it off for Teemu, a little bit of trouble. Jyväskylä is going to be able to chase this one down and put the pressure on for VP. Looking, finds his centerman, tried to get it back again. Teemu was there, fighting for it, takes it out of double coverage, but not able to find the outlet pass. This one will not go down for Ricing. So one more chance here for Vesa Pompa. They tried the quick out. Ekin timed it well at the line. He'll at least maintain possession, tries to throw it in front. King of Apes was there. 3 seconds here. Can Yoki do anything? Cuts back, slap shot, save, rebound! And they run out of time. So ultimately a pretty close period there, but Vesa Pompa find the tying goal.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I really liked Vesa Pompa's period. They seemed to key in on what hREDS was trying to do and find a counter for that, getting that big goal right there off the deflection, and a couple more chances from some mistakes that hREDS were making, kind of uncharacteristic mistakes of a team as good as hREDS. Some of these passes have been off. The zone entries have been a bit off. I kind of wonder what the state of the mental side of things is right now, because once Vesa Pompa started to get some pressure on, got that tying goal, it seems like hREDS began to unravel just a little bit more, missed a few extra passes there, leading to more time for Vesa Pompa to try to get some offense of their own here. As you can see there, 5 shots to 4 in favor of Vesa Pompa. hREDS did get a few more registered shot on net. That being said, after 2 periods, the totals for each team not super high in the neutral zone game. Seems to have much more of a presence here than it has in any other series that we've covered so far.
And I want to point out as well here, hREDS the 3rd most shots in the league this past season. Again, you talk about that total averaging about 13 shots a game, just at 4 right now. So is it a matter of just Vesa Pompa standing them up defensively, or do you see that strategy change from them going for a lot more shots and instead looking for the high quality?
I think it's a little bit of that, but I also feel like at times hREDS has looked a bit too casual here and looking for just that really pretty play. I think we're going to see them maybe step up the aggression here as we're seeing a couple big hits come out and maybe take a few more shots. Lower percentage, but just looking for pucks on net.
Again, a little bit of trouble at the line, forced to step back. Jyväskylä trying to get the pressure in on the defense. Teemu again being chased down. Finds Benito, tried to look for Yoki, wasn't there. See what Vesa Pompa can do. Self-sauce, gets a little bit of space. Great job here. Tries to cut in. And Sin, we've seen that a couple of times from the wingers from Vesa Pompa.
Yeah, and I like it. Just taking the puck to the net, whether it's by shot or with your body and possession. With those high, possession-style builds, it can really work to your benefit, just driving the puck to the net. And with the bounces, as we've mentioned, anything can happen. It can go in. You can get a second whack at it off the goaltender's pads.
Great stretch pass. Yoki has a step breakaway. Big glove save there. What a stop by the rookie. Stares down one of the top goal scorers. Second most goals in the league. 32 in the regular season. No goal there.
Yep, great anticipation from FaZe. That's such a commonplace play to cut across on the forehand there and try to get the goalie on the far side.
Drop there by Vesa Pompa off the draw to take away a set play. Runs into double coverage at the blue line. It'll be hREDS back in possession here. Teemu able to feed. Opportunity. Nicky Dangles tried to pass back in front to the defenseman, just off the mark. Bit too much traffic. hREDS getting that low cycle. Won't be able to hold this one in the offensive zone. So 6 minutes gone here in the third period. 1-1 in the first game. This best of 7. Space here, thrown in front. Loose puck still fought on for. Nicky Dangles nearly came up with it. See Vesa Pompa back in possession. Ekin able to find Jyväskylä. Tried to cut. Opportunity. Shot it just off the skate of the defender. Another great chance for Vesa Pompa. See what hREDS can do now in the zone. Again, quick pace to this game. Teemu with a toe drag around the back to Benito. Finds the opportunity there. Nicky Dangles just unable to hit the back of the net. Great stop by FaZe on the short side. Right now, Sin, hREDS getting the better of it. Vesa Pompa not really able to find the space on the breakouts. King of Apes back down the wing. Opportunity here for Benito. Waits for the pressure to open up space. Nicky Dangles was looking for that wraparound. Yoki looks to walk his way out of the corner. No space there again. I mean, Vesa Pompa having trouble on the breakout, but doing a good job defensively. And again, they lose the puck in the neutral zone. Yoki off the spin, looking for Benito down low. Circles back up high, and again tries to go across. It's just not there. Scramble on the half wall, chopped out. Teemu was there. Poked away for the moment by Ekin. Teemu again able to get that one away. Right now, Vesa Pompa forced to just kind of turtle up and take the heat. Stopped by FaZe there on a wrist shot from Yoki. Nicky Dangles back in front. Opportunity! And another stop there by Benito. He intercepted the pass away from its intended target.
Yeah, well, we kind of touched on it that hREDS might turn up the heat, and they have done just that here in the third period. I mean, the aggression's up there. They're really going for it, and Vesa Pompa really on their heels right now.
Nicky Dangles tried to find King of Apes off the faceoff. It just wasn't there. Teemu will recover, able to find Yoki. Back in front for Teemu, and FaZe is there, holds the butterfly to make that stop. Talked about it. Vesa Pompa needing to turtle up to help out the rookie, insulate him a little bit, but he's standing tall right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Making some big saves, getting the stoppages that they needed in Ekin, and winning some of these faceoffs.
An offside call here against Vesa Pompa. Just over 5 minutes remaining here in game one. Don't want to jinx it, but again, if it goes to overtime, we will cover it for as long as is necessary. Again, the first of 3 games between these two teams here today to kick off the playoffs in the ECL Elite Division. The 8 best teams in Europe and 8 of the best teams in the world going head-to-head. Nicky Dangles on the doorstep again. FaZe is able to find it.
Yeah, and FaZe standing tall right there, weathering the storm, so to speak, right now, because hREDS is throwing just about everything that they have at him in Vesa Pompa, surviving right now. But this isn't the regular season. A point won't do anything. All about the wins.
Block there from Sparka Romberg. Benito has it down low. looking on the backhand. Fakes the slap shot intentionally or not. Nikki Dangles has it, can't hold on to it. Don't know what's going on with the hREDS here in this situation. Under 2.5 to play, though. Vesa Pompa trying to work their way in. Jyväskylä has it. Opportunity, skips across the goal front. Still fought on for it. Vesa Pompa have it again. Here's Jyväskylä, bit of space. Soft in front. Big stop by Finkona. Vilipoika just really had nowhere to go with that one. He has it now. Gives it back to Sparka Romberg at the top. Down low in the corner. Poked away. Ekken's able to recover. This is off the side of the net. Here come hREDS down the other way. Under 50 seconds to go. Yoki looking. Pass back in front. Loose puck spot on for Benito. Has it. Shot stopped by FaZe. Still fighting for it down low in the corner. Around the back. Vesa Pompa. Look to reset. Maybe get some stamina back. That would be the worst thing. Rocket pass on to FaZe. He's able to play it. Now 20 seconds left here in regulation. Vesa Pompa looking. Ekken nowhere to go. Turned over. 20 seconds now for hREDS. Benito circles back. Shot on. That was a rocket pass off a skate. Playing with fire. FaZe is there, though.
Yeah, and covered up there. Dying moments here. hREDS with a face-off in the offensive zone. Huge chance for Benito to get something set up for his team.
Pompa with the advantage in draws so far, and Ekken wins that one clean. Good movement to keep possession. 10 seconds. One more rush. Vilipoika between the legs. Going to be recovered by Ekken. Shot on. Stopped by Finkona. Through the traffic. 1.7 to go, Sin. They technically have time.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the time for the set plays to come out. If you're Finkona, you got to be ready to hit that left stick and slide over to your left.
7 shots to 1 for hREDS in the period. Face off and jumps, and that guarantees us overtime here in the first game. Again, the 3 seed in hREDS against the 6 seed in Vesa Pompa, and 60 minutes worth of regulation was not enough.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end there, hREDS really started to come alive. We started to see why they're so dangerous on the offensive side of things. Despite only mustering 1 goal, they got to kind of look at that as a failure. At times in this game, they seemed to almost sit back and, you know, I said the word a bit casual at times, and it did kind of look that way. They didn't seem to be playing with as much urgency as they were there in that third period, and that's when I think hREDS is dangerous, when they crank up that aggression, and you see it there. I mean, they went from close to 4 minutes time on attack to almost 8 in just 1 period. That's how dangerous hREDS can be, and they started to get those shots going as well. And if you're Vesa Pompa, you got to be thankful you're in overtime, but you just need all you got to be telling yourself, okay, all we need is just one shot, 1 bounce to go into the back of the net, and you got yourself a win here. So that's what you need if you're Vesa Pompa. You survived it. FaZe stood on his head at times for you, made some big stops, but now you got to repay him.
Overtime about ready to begin. Again, the first game of this best of 7 series. We'll have the next 2 for you as well here in this broadcast. Make sure to drop us a follow if you haven't already. Make sure you don't miss any of the coverage here. Shot on, and Finkona tested early. Vilipoika willing to throw that one on. Battling for it here. hREDS back in possession, but they lose it. Vilipoika has it one more time. Tried to throw it on. Tries to throw it on again off a skate. Not afraid to throw the puck on net here are Vesa Pompa to begin this overtime. Let's see how hREDS respond. Nikki Dangles down his right-hand side, nowhere to go. Vesa Pompa back in possession. Big pass up to Jyväskylä. Tried to find Vilipoika, nowhere to go. Vilipoika still battling for it, and again, the layers in defense for hREDS, but great pressure here from Vesa Pompa. Vilipoika able to get it to Ekken, sends it all the way around here. Jyväskylä, the big spin, tries to cut in, still has it. Again, the throw in front attempt. Shot on, Finkona's there. Interesting offensive looks here for Vesa Pompa. Spin move at the line. They time it well, but it's won back again by Vilipoika. Look at the moves from Jyväskylä. Still fighting for it, but hREDS come up with it. Over the line now. Yoki looking. Slap shot. Stopped. A weird bounce off the defender. A couple of weird plays here. Benito finds King of Apes, the goal scorer for hREDS. Not able to find the pass there around the back. Vesa Pompa will recover and look to slow things down a little bit. Through the neutral zone they go. Mistimed at the line. Actually off a bounce. They're onside. Jyväskylä fighting for it. Ekken has it too. And a trip there. Jyväskylä is going to go to the box. And we talked about it. He gets into penalty trouble sometimes. horrible time for that. hREDS lone goal, of course, on the power play.
Yeah, and this is big. It looks like Vesa Pompa taking that timeout. Want to make sure that they have stamina for this kill. It is a monumental kill, but yeah, Jyväskylä, as good as he has looked so far, that's something that's happened a bit too much throughout the course of this season, is him going to the box, and no more crucial a time than right here in overtime of game 1 to set the tone for this series. We saw hREDS scoring on the power play already. We'll see if they could do it here again in overtime.
A much closer series when you look at the 2 regular season games where, again, hREDS outscored them 6-2 and completely dominated them in terms of time on attack. So we are here. Good start to Vesa Pompa on this PK. Let's see what hREDS can do. Gioki over the line, and the drop back to Teemu doesn't go. This power play's half over already.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunate for them, but they're going to look for a quicker break-in right here, perhaps.
You find the space. Nicky Dangles drops back to King of Apes, looking, options, finds its way over Yoki from a really harsh angle. Here's Nicky Dangles looking, still has it, circles back, gets back to King of Apes, tried to pass it over, second chance, glove save by FaZe, great traction there. Of course, intercepted there by Teemu on a pass attempt for Yoki, really kind of set the plan, straight, we could say.
Yeah, and that is something that we see so often, the high zone one-timers.
Ooh, Nicky Dangles nearly got it off the short side face-off play, has it back. Yoki, a chance blocker, stop, loose puck, still there. Benito, back over, great play, another stop, and another stop by FaZe. What a job by the rookie. Unbelievable there. Vesa Pompa survived that situation. Back into the attacking zone. Again, we talk about the young stars of the ECL Elite Division. FaZe, 18-year-old kid, standing on his head right now in a pressure situation, against some guys that have, been playing NHL competitively for half the kid's lifetime. So, it's an interesting situation. Opportunity shot on. Great block by the captain, Laminens. Able to recover it around the back of the net. 6.5 minutes to play now. Laminens to Ekin. Over to Jyväskylä. Tries to find the space and does. Jyväskylä looking. Has it in the offhand corner. Poked away at the point off of Sparka Romberg. 2-on-0 here. Nicky Dangles and Yoki. Great poke check by Laminens. The captain steps up. Here comes Ekin down the other way. Cutting in. Loose puck is recovered by Laminens. Can't get the shot on. Loose puck is there still. Jyväskylä trying to find space. Nowhere to go. And hREDS will settle it down.
Wow, hectic action at both ends of the ice. Vesa Pompa there, a huge chance to end it. 2 great defensive plays, one by Laminens, the other on the opposite side, and then Laminens jumping into the rush as well in the offensive zone, almost getting the puck to a scoring location.
Benito has it here, a couple of options, goes back to the point. Teemu looking, wants King of Apes perhaps on the 1T, elects to go back down low. Benito tries to cut in, nowhere to go. Teemu back down low to Yoki, looking. Gets it back. Shot just wide. Blocker side post. See what Vesa Pompa can do is double overtime on the agenda. Villapoika fighting for it. Teemu able to force him offside with 1:39 to go.
Wow. I mean, it's getting down to it here. Double overtime may indeed be on the menu, but in the last 2 minutes here, the slow seconds are ticking down. So this is especially the time where you do not want to go to the box here. Vesa Pompa, Jyväskylä is going to have to be careful.
hREDS into the zone. Jyväskylä fighting for it. Teemu's able to recover. Benito looking over to King of Apes. Back down to the centerman. Circles back. Finds Nicky Dangles. Good cycle movement here. Teemu shot deflection. Big kick save by FaZe again. Final 1 minute and 15 seconds. It's a real-time setup here as well. This late in the overtime. Contact here at Benito. Able to hold on to it again. He and Yoki, the top 2 leading scorers in the regular season. Circles through, finds Yoki now. They're over the line. A little bit of trouble. Benito recovers. Feeds it down low. Laminens is there to pick it off for Vesa Pompa. An errant pass from Jyväskylä gets hREDS another possession. Through the neutral zone. Teemu, burst of speed. They time it well at the line. Yoki tried to fend it over. Great job by Sparka Romberg to take the chance away from Nicky Dangles. Still has it. Yoki shot off the side of the net. Sparka Romberg, a little bit of trouble there with Benito, but he's able to survive the pressure. 30 seconds to play in OT1. Opportunity here. Back to the point. Lehman and Sparka. Romberg, the shot. What a stop by Fincona. That is how Vesa Pompa tied this game up. It's nearly how they won it, too.
Yeah, it hasn't been tested too often there, but a big one right there. And we're seeing Vesa Pompa go with an aggressive face-off setup here as well.
Not able to win the draw, though. hREDS, 20 seconds to work with. Big step up by Jyväskylä, but it doesn't pan out. Great job there by Lehmanens again to stick with Yoki. Remember the effort of the Vesa Pompa captain if they walk away with the win in this one. Mistimed at the line, 7 seconds to go.
Wow, I mean, it's just coming down to the wire here, especially it's 7 seconds. A lot can happen here. It looks like 6 actually on the clock right now, but looks like we are indeed going to be destined for double overtime here as Vesa Pompa happy to take it in their zone.
Oh my
Gotta
God.
be careful.
Playing with fire, to say the least.
Yeah, that could have turned south very quickly. You got to be careful there, especially if you want to get a little cute with some between the legs work there. And the pass over to Lehmanens almost actually ended up off the pad of FaZe and into the net. Fortunately, the period does come to an end as hREDS couldn't make the most of that turnover. That being said, still a story of survival here for Vesa Pompa. They got a couple chances, but still not too dangerous, testing Fincona, and hREDS are looking like the far superior team. That being said, FaZe has just been out of his mind good, bailing his team out here and giving them every single chance to win this game 1.
Overtime number 2 in just game 1 of this series. Again, we aim to cover the next 2 games of this series as well. Maybe plans will change. This might be the only game of the night at this rate. We'll see how the voices hold up in the offensive zone here. Jyväskylä trying to pressure. hREDS back in possession here. Kenu, if you're watching, maybe postpone game 3 until later. Who's to say? It's Vesa Pompa back in possession here. We'll see how long this one goes. The quick out on net. Kick stop by Fincona. Zekin tried to chop it on net. A little bit off the mark. Let's see what hREDS can do in response. Yoki to Nicky Dangles. Great job by Lehmanens. Nicky Dangles nearly recovered again. Lehmanens has been unbelievable. Chance for Yoki. Over secondary pass. FaZe tracked that perfectly, even without the extra shot happening there.
I mean, for a rookie, he's looking about as comfortable as you can expect from a guy like McSavid or Kape, or, I mean, he has just been on his game, and he's had to be another quick
play on the doorstep. Lehmanens got walked, and FaZe is able to stop that one. 5 minutes gone here in OT2. Unbelievable chances. Here's Jyväskylä looking. Spin back to Ekin. He wasn't expecting it. Has trouble with Yoki. Still fighting for it. Knocked off the puck. Sent back down. Ekin's guy is just dead on the ice. Finally back to his feet. Opportunity here for Nicky Dangles. Down low into the corner. Cuts back. Chance. Teemu can't get it. Tried to pass it up. Still fighting for it. A scramble. Nicky Dangles has it. Shot. Rebound. Denied as well. Unbelievable performance from the rookie goaltender. As Yoki steps up again. Has Benito with him. Gets him the puck. Tried to throw it back. No way through that amount of traffic. Big stretch pass to Jyväskylä. Teemu able to take that one away as well. Here's Benito one more time. Drops it back to Teemu. Yoki down low in the corner. Loses it to Lehmanens. It's been an incredible battle between those two. A loose puck finds its way to Jyväskylä. We are halfway through overtime 2. Jyväskylä has trouble along the half wall. It's recovered by hREDS once more. See what they can do here. Big spin from Nicky Dangles. Loses it. Sparka Romberg, to be fair, has stepped up in a big-time way. Sebi Larson, who, over the line here. Lehmanens down low to Villapoika. Tried to go back to the point. Wasn't there through the double-team pressure. Here's Benito. Self-sauced for speed. Finds Yoki. Poked away by Lehmanens. Regains, but loses it back to Benito. Throws it in front. Loose puck. Vesa Pompa come up with it. 7 minutes remaining in this second overtime. Again, just game 1 of this series. The battle of 3 hREDS against 6 Vesa Pompa. Here's Teemu. Pinching in. Throws it on. Throws it wide. Covered at the point. Good movement. Teemu holds it in. Yoki for Nicky Dangles. Couldn't get a piece of it. It's recovered. Trouble with Villapoika. This one just wide. Interesting there. FaZe elected not to play it. Loose puck recovered by Benito. Struggling to get it out now. Ekin able to recover, at least gets it out of the zone. Villapoika can't go back to him. Here's Benito. Loses it in the triple team coverage. And Ekin will drop it down. See what Sparko Roenberg can do on the breakout. Laminen's miscommunication with the Jyväskylä. Crucial icing call here, perhaps.
Yeah, big icing call. Just a little update throughout here. Havu just won their other game in OT, so they're up 2-0 in their series against Roots. And also, I believe, another game heading to overtime. Philadelphia.
And he scores! Out of nowhere! Yoki off the draw, finds the space to step in, and catches him short side. hREDS take it in double overtime. A 2-1 heartbreaker for Vesa Pompa.
Yeah, just when you think there may be a lull and you could rattle off some out-of-town scores, as we'll call them, going-ons around the rest of the league, a quick strike right there, and it's got to be a heartbreaker for FaZe, who played his absolute heart out and really was the reason this game even went to overtime. And wow, I mean, what a performance from him. Great win from hREDS there in double overtime. And huge game one win for them, but they got to be questioning themselves. I mean, how do we get more pucks past FaZe? Because it's not going to be enough scoring just one goal in regulation here. As good as you have been, as many shots as you've gotten, is all the time on attack in the world. Bounces can happen. hREDS have their work cut out for them solving a goaltender like FaZe.
So again, this one going to hREDS, an unfortunate turn of events there for Vesa Pompa. Lord knows we have a lot to catch you up on for goings-on around the league in these first round playoff matchups. I think Sin can understand. I think you all can understand. We're going to take a little bit longer of a break than we normally do, because otherwise you're not getting game 3, at least not with this guy involved. Because, Jesus, have these games been something else to start the playoffs. So we will be back after a short break to set the stage for game 2. Wilhelm, take it away.
Wilhelmin ykköskentän pakkeina uudet tulokkaat. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.
And we are back, everybody, after a much-needed break for myself, at least. But Boyson, if I am not ready, to continue to see what is going to go down here. Again, we have plenty to talk about from the action we've seen already in this broadcast, the 3 games that we have covered. We also want to thank everybody coming over from Eki Stream, of course, checking out the action from Philadelphia today, which we are going to update all of you on as well. So let's get to the latest results here around the league before we set the stage for game 2. So as you can see, these are the playoff results so far. And again, Sin, the big turn of events that you were trying to fill us in on going on with the Havu results that we don't have yet. I'll let you get to that in a second. But the big results here so far, it looked like Philadelphia was going to be able to close out Northern Ascendancy after back-to-back 2-0 wins and then a 4-3 win in overtime. But the 8th seed pull off a victory in game 4, a 3-2 victory there to stave off elimination. So credit to Northern Ascendancy for that. And of course, at the beginning of this broadcast, we saw the first 2 games, the rematch of all rematches. It's Jyväskylä and Färjestad, with Jyp taking the first 2 games of that series as well. And for those of you who may have just missed it, hREDS and Vesa Pompa, the battle of 3 versus 6, hREDS winning 2-1 in double overtime in the final 3 minutes or so of that OT period, Sin.
Yeah, so Havu up 2-0. I mean, Northern Ascendancy staving off elimination is pretty huge. Against a team like Philadelphia, and when you look at those results, the last 2 games, overtime, those can always go either way. So Northern Ascendancy, maybe not quite done yet, giving Philadelphia a bit of a run for their money here.
And indeed, as well, Sin, as you were mentioning too, Havu up 2-0 in their series as well. Of course, when you tried to bring that up, that's when the winning goal was scored. But yeah, Havu up 2-0 on Roots in the battle of 2 through 7. So again, we will try to as updated as we possibly can on all the goings-on around the ECL Elite Division. Sin, I said we had a lot to do in terms of setting the stage. We don't even necessarily have time. These two teams are ready to go. I'd imagine Vesa Pompa is good to go. I would apologize to them for the delay. But again, I don't think I'd make it through another 2 games. God forbid we have another overtime here in this one. It's been incredible, the fast-paced action that we've seen. So again, hREDS get the win. Vesa Pompa looking to bounce back. Some good building blocks perhaps. Sin, what do you think we're going to see in this upcoming game?
I think hREDS is going to come out, a little bit angrier. I don't think they liked, just getting 2 goals there, especially one in overtime. They're happy with the win, of course, but I feel like there was, at times a lot to be desired in their play. When it comes to Vesa Pompa, they got to find a way to get more offense, plain and simple. We know how good hREDS is, yes, but you have to find a way. FaZe bailed you out time and time and time again. You want to be able to pick up a win for your goaltender in that situation. We'll see if they can do it here in game 2.
So again, now 3-0 on the season are hREDS over Vesa Pompa. So right now, a lot to play for to try and get things going. Of course, they see Vesa Pompa in the black and gold, as I will call it, hREDS in the white, and surprisingly, the red. Game 2, ready to go between these two teams. Let's see how this one plays out. We have already covered a 2-0 series lead in this broadcast. Will there be another one? Here's Laminens. Of course, the captain for Vesa Pompa with the yellow icon. He had a phenomenal first game. Was not enough. I think you could say that about a couple of members of this Vesa Pompa team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of them really had standout performances, but you mentioned it just wasn't quite enough for the total team effort that hREDS put forth.
Battle for it here along the half wall. Vesa Pompa come up with it, but Villapoika's pass off the mark as King of Apes sends that one down into the corner. Again, the goal scorers in that first game, King of Apes and the winner from Yoki. Lone goal for Vesa Pompa. It was their centerman, Ekin, as Jyväskylä not able to get that feed. 4 minutes already gone here. Fight for it. hREDS have possession. Looking over for Yoki. Doesn't get a buffered shot. Benito bumped off the puck. Still fighting for it there, though, with Laminens, who has been an absolute monster in the corner. Made one mistake in the last game, and they paid for it. That shows how crucial he's been. A little bit of trouble in front of the net there. Ultimately, Vesa Pompa able to maintain some possession here, although not without a little bit of trouble. Nearly turned over again there. They've had a lot of trouble breaking out since really through the back half of the second game and already into this one.
Yeah, once hREDS cranked that aggression up, I mean, Vesa Pompa just really seemed to struggle, and here they come again. hREDS on the attack.
King of Apes was looking to find Yoki there. He draws the hook, does Jyväskylä. So Vesa Pompa will go to the man advantage here.
Yeah, a good opportunity for them to try to spark something. They had a good power play throughout the season, good enough for a 5th, and we're going to see their look on the power play here in the playoffs.
Yeah, this face-off goes. Jyväskylä walks away. Spin, sends it across. Thought he had space on the short side. He had the pass in mind. Tested him short side that time. But Fincona is able to make the stop.
I like that from Vesa Pompa. Just put the puck on the net. Look for some tight chances, but don't be afraid to just send it towards the crease. That's what they did there a couple times. It ends up, some close calls for Fincona.
The opportunity here. Let's see how this goes. Ekin has it down low. Villapoika, great movement. Fired just wide of the post by Laminens. And chop all the way down.
Yeah, good to relieve the pressure right there by Yoki. Very smart using that stick chop there. He knew he wasn't going to get possession on the foot race.
Jyväskylä, great job to gain the line. Gets it back. Tried to throw it to Ekin. No space. Errant pass. Nicky Dangles recovers and sends all the way down. Just about do it for the man advantage. One more rush here before we're back to 5-on-5. Laminens, Jyväskylä both having trouble. That one sent all the way down. And it will not be icing. They call the foot race in favor of King of Apes, and they score! Unbelievable turn of events there. Controversial, perhaps. No icing on the play. King of Apes finds Benito, and the captain has the opening goal.
Yeah, we saw that flash up there for a minute, and I think what you're seeing right there is you saw all kinds of skaters up near the neutral zone who weren't actually skating. Everyone's anticipating the icing call, trying to get the stamina back. It doesn't come through, and hREDS strike quickly right there. Sort of a broken play goal, but they'll take it. 1-0.
Fresh off the PK. This time there at the line. So hREDS have the opening goal for the second time in as many games. We'll see how Vesa Pompa respond. Again, that is a rough goal to give up under those circumstances. Again, I think caught the defense off guard. Like you said, caught FaZe off guard. Chance for Jyväskylä. Nearly found Vesa Pompa there. Just wasn't able to get the pass. About 8 minutes remaining here in the opening period of play of Game 2. Chance for Benito. Has it poked away. Throws one on. FaZe forced into making a stop there. Vesa Pompa, too much pressure. Nicky Dangles wins it back. Benito looking. Finds Nicky Dangles again. Back to Benito. He went for the extra pass. You have to question the extra pass. I mean, if it goes through, it's bound to be an empty net, you would think, but maybe one pass too many. They're back in possession here, though. Tamuston, I definitely want to get your thoughts on that big-time play. This one's taken away by Vesa Pompa.
Yeah, he had that short side. FaZe was sort of towards the middle of the net right there, not committing either side. That was a goal for Benito had he pulled the trigger, I believe.
Loses it on the half wall here. Sparko Romberg in the lineup for Sebi Larson. They only played 8 games in the regular season. D-to-D, the one-timer again. They found success on that play in the first game. And I think if you are Vesa Pompa, like we talked about, a team averaging the second fewest shots amongst teams that made the playoffs, pulling the trigger is not a bad idea just to see what can happen. We saw it work out for Jyväskylä earlier as Leimannens again fires it just wide, trying to pick the corner.
Yeah, great look there again. They like that D-to-D pass, the one-timer with the deflections, or just, going for that far side as Leimannens did right there. Good chance.
Dino takes that one away, but it'll be recovered in the neutral zone. A little bit of trouble for Leimannens. Jyväskylä is able to find Vesa Pompa between the legs. No space. King of Apes there to take that one away. See the move on the other side from Benito. Nicky Dangles back to King of Apes. Tried to find Yoki on the flip side. Another pass over, loose puck in front. Leimannens able to shut that one down, and he will wind down the clock to bring us to the end of the first period. The difference maker right now belongs to the captain. Benito has the lone goal so far.
Yeah, and hREDS once again in a period where they looked very dangerous, only able to muster up that one goal. And, it's kind of starting to be a trend here of FaZe standing on his head. That being said, Vesa Pompa have got to find a way to get more pucks on net and more zone time. They have looked, good at times, that is for sure, but it has been few and far between. The second that hREDS decided to turn up that aggression, Vesa Pompa struggling on their breakout, struggling in the neutral zone, struggling to maintain possession in that offensive zone as well. Once again, for some hREDS only with the one registered shot despite all that zone time. And we saw maybe the reason for that, or at least the symptom of Benito making that extra pass across when he really did have that, the short side. That's when, it happens. Sometimes those set plays, can kind of bite you in the rear if the goalie reacts a certain way or doesn't react in that case. As we got another quick look at that sort of broken up play goal. Controversial or not, the call on the waved off icing. Nonetheless, hREDS took advantage of it and are up 1-0 here heading into the second.
Now I'm afraid to find out whether or not, you said bite in the rear. Now I'm afraid to find out whether or not we can say the A double crooked letter. We'll find out. We'll get approval or not. If so, I might have a heck of a line to help sell Wilhelm Snacks. Shout out to Wilhelm. We love you, of course. As you mentioned, Sin, hREDS, just one shot on goal in the first period of last game. Same thing here. And again, same exact situation, basically, for Vesa Pompa. Although you could argue right now the offensive chances haven't quite been there. But here's a little bit of space for Jyväskylä. Loses it, poked away into the corner. And hREDS will recover possession here. Here they go down the other way. A lot of speed. Nicky Dangles rifles one into the slot. Nobody there on the receiving end. Yoki to the point, and a big stop by FaZe. Loose puck and a basket catch. Big stop there for the young goaltender.
Yeah, King of Apes again, always a danger no matter where he is, taking a huge blast there near the point on the one-time chance, but FaZe was right there, and Ekin's done a great job so far in these face-offs, winning another one right there. We'll see if Vesa Pompa can get a clean breakout off of it.
Again, Benito winning 6% more of his face-offs in the regular season as well. So, like you mentioned, Ekin doing a great job so far in this series. Here's Yoki with a little bit of speed. Weaves his way through. Traffic shot on. Second chance perhaps on the rack. Just couldn't get it. Yoki again, the second highest goal scoring total in the league this season with 32 goals. Opportunity now, Vesa Pompa. going to go down the other way. Has Jyväskylä. Laminens again. Tried to drop it back to the winger. Wasn't there. And hREDS able to recover once more. Stretch pass is off the mark, and this one will go down for icing.
Yeah, so a good opportunity now for Vesa Pompa with an offensive zone draw. Ekin to really, prove that he is the better center in this matchup at least. Get a big face-off win, set something up quick.
They do win it off the draw. Sparka Romberg's pass a little bit off the mark there. Just not on the same page. Good movement to find Nicky Dangles, looking to weave through. Loose puck recovered by Benito. Rifles it back to the point, King of Apes. Over to Tamo. Great movement here. Nicky Dangles in front, scores off the defender's leg. Nicky Dangles will be credited with the goal. And it's 2-0 now in favor of hREDS.
Yeah, looking for that quick give and go that you'll see. Anyone who plays high-level competitive have seen that a number of times. The pass down low, the pass back out front, you shoot far side, but right there, the shot wasn't needed. But that's what's so good about those plays in tight on the net. They almost act like jam plays at time. That being said, almost another quick break for Benito there.
Very close call indeed. So we are halfway through this game. hREDS find the second goal that it took them nearly 2 full overtimes to find in game 1. This will be chased down. Benito, toe drag, steps in. Gigantic stop by FaZe. Remember that one. If Vesa Pompa are able to get back in, that was a phenomenal stop there. See what Vesa Pompa can do. They have it in the zone. Ekin down low. Quick movement back to the point. Sparka Romberg throws it on deflection. Stopped by Fincona. Forced to squeeze the pads together to keep that one from trickling in.
Yeah, good response here from Vesa Pompa. We'll see if they can build on that little bit of momentum. If you're them, you just got to look for tiny building blocks right now.
Chance on the draw. Villapoika, the toe drag shot doesn't find its way through. A lot of speed here for Yoki. Chance tries to pull back. Unbelievable, trying to tuck. Some nerve there, and it nearly worked. Vesa Pompa over recovers in 6 minutes left. Would have been a highlight reel goal for sure. Chance here perhaps for Benito. Self-sauce for speed. Back to the point. Blocked down. Centerman regains. Back down to Nicky Dangles in the corner. They work it back to the point. Great movement from hREDS. King of Apes. All the time in the world. I don't know if you can afford to give him that much space. It worked out there, though. We saw that in the first matchup as well with FBK and Jyväskylä. Nicky Dangles to Benito. Banks it off the back. hREDS love those odd angle shots. 3.5 to go here, Sin, and right now it's looking rough for Vesa Pompa, if we're being honest.
Yeah, they just cannot gain the zone.
The commentator's curse is alive. Vesa Pompa to the power play.
Yep, and with Ekin's face-off ability, he needs to win this one here. Vesa Pompa, they have to hold on to the zone, though.
Ekin has it in front. Loose puck still there on the doorstep. Jyväskylä can't get a piece of it. Great chance, though, there to the first 13 seconds.
Yeah, I really like it. Kind of a set crash to the net play off of the face-off. Again, more of a jam play right there, but you'll take what you can get, especially when you're down by 2.
Again, the aggressive face-off, but they can't win the draw. Maybe a bit too telegraphed. Laminens stops that one from going all the way down, at least. A couple of quick passes here involving the captain. Laminens brings it into the zone himself. Takes his time. Has the space to work with. Goes back to Ekin. A little bit of trouble there with Yoki, but still has the puck. Back to Laminens. Again, it's Ekin down low. Jyväskylä to the point. Sparka Romberg looking, throws it in front to Ekin. Great shot, great save. Still fighting for it here. Jyväskylä. It's Ekin again. Back to Jyväskylä around the back. Ekin looking, has space. Chance on the short side, and Fincona sticks with him. Great power play here for Vesa Pompa, but Fincona really standing tall now.
Yeah, we're getting a look at why this power play was so deadly throughout the regular season. Unable to find a goal here, but a quick face-off play. They have 14 seconds left. Unable to win it, though, and that should just about do it.
Again, the face-off in favor of hREDS. We're back to 5-on-5 as Laminens trying to force some of the pressure here. Jyväskylä keeps it in. Great job. Tries to weave his way through, but Benito was there to help out the defense. Recovered again once more. Jyväskylä draws another trip. So Vesa Pompa right back to the power play. They got 5 seconds to work with here in the second period, though.
Yeah, and hREDS starting to get into a little bit of penalty trouble here, and that will start to swing the momentum. Fortunately for them, the period is almost over.
And again, they lose the draw. Sin, I think, fair reason as to why they didn't pull the goaltender. I think if you had the utmost confidence in Ekin, you pulled the goaltender there, but that was a rough stretch of face-offs down the back half. The face-off marker is much closer now. It's 8-6.
Yeah, he did have the advantage throughout most of it, but I think that was 3 face-offs in a row on the power play where Ekin lost. It just seemed like Benito figured out what they wanted to do on the draw and was just going with the perfect grip, the perfect win style to negate that. As we're getting another look at what happened on that jam play, actually went off of, I believe that was Sparko Rundberg's stick. And I mean, that's what can happen. Those in tight chances, get the puck, get pucks and bodies to the net. You hear it so often when it comes to real hockey. It works in a video game too. Often life imitates art, or art imitates life in this case.
High up off the draw. Vesa Pompa in possession. Third period underway here. Game 2 of this opening round quarterfinal matchup. Thursday in hREDS taking on the 6-seed Vesa Pompa. Good hip checks there, but unfortunately the puck doesn't go to where they would have wanted it. This one not sent all the way down. We'll see if Vesa Pompa can get back in on the attack. Trouble here. Puck still loose. Nicky Dangles can't clear it all the way down, but Yoki can do what his fellow winger could not. So 35 seconds to go here on the man advantage. Again, a 2-1 double overtime victory for hREDS in game 1. Let's see what happens here. They're in the driver's seat in this one. Nearly back to even strength. Villapoika for Ekin. Back to Villapoika, sent it across and against, and you see those spaces where the extra passes, it's just kind of the go-to, but sometimes you got to take what's in front of you. But man, is it tough to have those reaction times. I mean, again, it's easy to say when you're not in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you have something that you're happening, it's going to happen in your mind before it even happens on the ice.
Opportunity, they score! What a play! Jyväskylä finds Villapoika, and he's able to get the goal. Sin that I believe moves him into a tie for 7th all-time in the Elite Division. Or at least that would be for the regular season, I suppose. I don't know if those stats are cumulative, but regardless, you have one of the best goal scorers in the history of the league, and he gets them back to within 1.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Vesa Pompa needed here relatively early on into this third period. They have a chance to tie this game up yet, and if you're hREDS, you got to be careful now as they're going to start pressing a bit more, wanting to get that attack and that forecheck and pressure going on Vesa Pompa to keep them out of their zone.
Again, that's the reason. I mean, we call out Jyväskylä as their best player, but again, Villapoika, we always try to give him the credit. The man can score goals, to say the least. He's been doing it for a long time in this division. Opportunity there, quickly taken away. Vesa Pompa will be able to regroup here. Over the line, Ekin with a bit of space. The cut in, loose puck, Fincona stops it from crossing the line at the last possible moment. Incredible job there. And indeed, as mentioned for Villapoika, that goal, I do believe the cumulative totals he has passed Mookie Maestri. Again, moving up now into 7th all-time. I will say, though, he is behind Benito and Yoki of hREDS. So, again, just to show some of the incredible goal-scoring talent that's on display in this game. 11.5 to go. Now a 1-goal game here. Let's see what happens. Lehman in bit of space, a lot of speed, throw it in front. Opportunity, scores! Villapoika has another one. The puck was picked off, but he drags it back off of the broken play. We're tied at 2.
Wow, what a turnaround here. Vesa Pompa with the 2-goal comeback. What a play by Lehmanens to jump into the rush, create the space. Almost a perfect pass over to Villapoika there. Moved his stick to the inside. Good defensive play, but it's Villapoika sticking with it on that rebound. Just wouldn't give up on it. It's now 2-2 hREDS. What's happening here? Vesa Pompa clawing their way back in.
It's a brand new game halfway through the third period, tied at 2. Oh boy, who knows how long this one could go. That one's offside there. Sin, we might be canceling game 3 after all. Who's to say?
Yeah, who knows? We'll just run out of bandwidth eventually, or everyone's going to run out of gas. People will be falling asleep with the controllers in their hands. We'll see what happens here.
Big hit there, but hREDS back in the zone. Benito holding it in the corner, kicked it out, but straight to Villapoika. He has 2 goals in the period. He wants a third. Drops back for Jyväskylä, across for Ekin. Loose puck, and Fincona is there. Vesa Pompa looking dangerous on almost every rush.
Yeah, they are really starting to take it too. And yeah, we're going to see hREDS take their time out right here. They've got to be reeling. I mean, you consider what happened last game. They had 11 minutes time on attack at the end. Granted, it was double OT, but that was 5-6 minutes more than Vesa Pompa had. And right now they're very even when it comes to time on attack. And if you're hREDS, you got to be wondering happened. Where did this Vesa Pompa team come from? Did you sit back? Did you take your foot off the gas, or did Vesa Pompa just find an extra gear? Nonetheless, the score is tied here late into the third period, and now again it can come down to a bounce.
The offensive zone draw for Vesa Pompa, and Ekin's able to win it clean. Quick shot in traffic and a swing and a miss from Jyväskylä. Might have found its way home, and again, it's been something that's been pointed out from one of our lovely people behind the scenes, but noticing that both goaltenders, and really that's what you see from a lot of goaltenders in general, not dropping butterfly when the puck is in tight. It can cost you at times. Nearly cost hREDS there. Opportunity off the loose puck is recovered by Ekin. Under 6 to play now. We are tied at 2. A blink and you miss it goals from Villapoika. Ekin, Jyväskylä, loose puck recovered there. You never know how those are going to go when the puck is loose in front. Nicky Dangles back to the point. King of Apes pinching in. Benito off the leg of a defender. Directed into the corner. Laminens has it now. Clock ticking down. Between the legs pass to find the space. Slick attempt there. Picked off by Ekin. Not able to find Jyväskylä though. Benito, great job on the back check to help out the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's turning into a bit of a neutral zone game at times here, but Vesa Pompa is looking dangerous on every single rush that they get.
Teemu in front. Shot from Yoki doesn't find its way through. He finds his way down to the floor. Laminens trying to find Jyväskylä. He does. Sends it around the back. Villapoika takes the hit. Trying to send it out of the zone. hREDS. A little mistiming there. Final minute of play here in the third period. It's Yoki. Down low for Benito. Nicky Dangle's not able to pick it up, but he gets it back. Back to Benito, to the point, to flex wide. Second chance, shuffled off the back. Another chance, point blank, doesn't find its way on target. Great opportunities for hREDS. Big step up hit there from Teemu to keep the possession alive. Benito just down low to the corner, tries to windmill, scramble for the puck. Ekin comes up with it, but again, Teemu pinching up. He has it one more time, keeps it in the zone. Yoki looking, takes the hit, still fighting for it. Villapoika turns it over, shot, scores! A turnover that you just cannot make. It's Benito who's able to win this game. More than likely, the commentator's curse might prove otherwise, but hREDS are up 3-2. Sin, that just can't happen.
No, absolutely not. And you can almost sense it coming with how strong hREDS were coming on the forecheck. Terrific play. That's all Yoki there, forcing the turnover on the half boards, making the pass across. No chance for FaZe there on the one time. Benito, no extra pass this time, buries it.
12 seconds. Yoki brings it down low. Nicky Dangles back in front. They tried the extra pass. 7 seconds here. Jyväskylä, the big stretch to Laminens. He has space, cutting in front. Shot on, doesn't go. What an opportunity for Vesa Pompa, but it just doesn't come to fruition. Unbelievable stuff there. hREDS win another incredibly close game between these two teams.
Yeah, that again, a nail biter down to the wire, and unfortunately for Vesa Pompa, they looked miles better than they did in game one. Couldn't find a way to come up with the W because of that late strike from hREDS. And wow, I mean, when they put the pressure on, hREDS is a scary team. The only problem I've seen thus far is being able to sustain that. And we saw Vesa Pompa, they started to get, chance after chance after chance there for a while, and it was Fincona who had to be at times bailing his team out. None maybe perhaps bigger than at the end there. Laminens, just with all the speed and stamina in the world, led the rush there with a pass across. They got one last chance on net, but it was a hope and a prayer. It didn't find the back of the net. What a game, too, though. This series much closer than the 2-0 would make it seem.
So again, another very close game between these two. hREDS walk away with the victory. Sin, we still have one more game to cover here in this broadcast. Game 3 between these two teams. It's been an incredible evening of action amongst the ECL's elite, to say the least, as again, we kickstart another postseason effort. As again, you get a look at all the goals here. And again, some very close calls that ultimately ended up being the difference maker here. And I think as well, the best course of action is to not only get you a word from our sponsor in Wilhelm, but everybody, just take a break for a second. Go grab a drink, use the restroom, grab a snack, do what you have to do. We'll be back 2 to 3 minutes or so. We'll see you for the final game of this broadcast. I have a hunch you're not going to want to miss it with how close these games have been.
Wilhelmin ykköskentän pakkeina uudet tulokkaat. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.
And we are back. Sin, it's been only slightly longer of a day than what we normally had seen in the regular season, but something about it just feels like it has been a very, very long day. A double overtime game certainly has that effect on you. We are just about ready to go for our third game of this series and our fifth and final game of this broadcast. Vesa Pompa and hREDS. hREDS with that 2-0 series lead, winning 2 very, very close and competitive games between these two teams. And of course, as well, we're trying to keep you updated on everything that's going on around the league. I will say this, of course, make sure to follow if you're not already following. And of course, check out NHLgamer.com, NHLgamer on all your social media platforms as well, Twitter and Instagram. We're going to try to bring as many of these playoff games to you as we possibly can. So a chance that potentially we could be back tomorrow, or at least one of us, at least. And of course, Wednesday as well, we are guaranteed to be back. So we will see what happens here as we continue to see how everything happens to play out throughout this postseason. So, Sin, the teams are just about ready. They're in the lobby here. What do you think heading into this game?
Well, I think if you're Vesa Pompa, you need to figure out a way to win this game. You can't go down 3-0. Yeah, you do have, Sparko Rundberg in the lineup instead of Sebi Larsson, who is a backup. If you can escape, only down by 1 game with that, 2-1 with your depth player, utility player in the lineup, that's a huge win against a team as offensively talented as hREDS. That being said, Vesa Pompa, they just need to keep building on what they're doing. I thought they looked much better in that game too, but unfortunately it was a costly mistake in their own end, which led to their doom, which has kind of been the story for them at times throughout this series so far. hREDS making them pay, keying in on their mistakes and turning it into offense.
I mean, absolutely. And again, now here, very intrigued to see how the opening 5 to 10 minutes of this game really goes, because the one thing we haven't seen is Vesa Pompa score the opening goal. But again, I talked about it. You look at the 2 regular season matchups, and again, hREDS outscoring them just 6-2 in those games. These have been so much more competitive than those 2 games happen to be. But clearly, playing from behind, not in Vesa Pompa's best interests.
No, absolutely not. I mean, hREDS, with their offensive pressure, they can come back from behind for sure. We saw Vesa Pompa come back in that one, but again, it was too little too late as hREDS got another quick strike there. So Vesa Pompa need to do what they did to get that tie, but do it, to gain themselves a lead.
So here we go. The game is underway. Again, Vesa Pompa going up on your screen, and we will see if they can indeed get the opening goal of this game. They're on the attack early, although not for long as this puck play back towards the defensive zone. hREDS, that 2-0 series lead. Let's see how this one goes. The opportunity here. Ekin gonna fight for this one as well, but Nicky Dangles comes up with it. Laminen's back to help defend. Nicky Dangles has it poked off of him. Great job again by Laminens. The captain's been incredible. Opportunity, big glove save by FaZe. What a look from King of Apes to find Nicky Dangles.
Yeah, 2 threats on that play. Yoki on the high one-time slot, and then it was Nicky Dangles down low on that short side. FaZe with a good job of his positioning, able to seal that off and prevent an early lead for hREDS.
Trouble for Sparko Rundberg, shot scores! Yoki picks the corner. Self-inflicted wounds for Vesa Pompa continue to hurt their chances then.
Yep, it just continues to crumble for them in their own end. The mistakes are piling up, and hREDS are going to keep making you pay if you keep giving them chances. 1-0 here for hREDS.
Never afraid to throw a team under the bus for skipping replays. You boys got to work on it. I don't care if it's game 3 of the playoffs and it's intense. Do your job, which isn't just to give us entertaining games, it's to not hit the A button. You're not allowed to talk trash over North American clubs because you're no better right now. Anyway, that one's offside. 14:39 remaining here in the first period. Again, the opening goal from Yoki there for hREDS. A very important goal for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've gotten the go-ahead goals like in every single game so far, which has been a huge advantage for them. Oh, interesting play right there as Teemu has a bit of trouble off the face-off, but no one attacking for Vesa Pompa.
hREDS wearing their 3rd different jersey of the day, by the way. I just noticed. That's a lovely look for them. Showing off the full sets. Buy yours now at someone's shop, probably. That'd be cool, actually, hREDS, if you sell your jerseys. I know I just talked some trash, but, you know.
Let me get a jersey.
Yeah, that'll make up for it. Here's Yoki, the goal scorer, down low, able to lose it there. Let's see what Vesa Pompa can do here on the flip side. A rocket pass on the Finn Kona. Why not? You never know what can find its way into the back of the net. But hREDS back into possession here. This first period almost halfway done already. King of Apes losing it for the moment to Ekin. He's able to maintain possession. Takes a safe pass to Villapoika. Jyväskylä having a little bit of trouble here, but gets back down low into the corner. Trouble with Teemu. Still fighting for it down low. hREDS, great job. Very good job there to clear the zone. And now in on the attack. Teemu over Yoki. Just couldn't get that shot off. Great chance there. Mickey Dangles down low, trying to get Faze moving. Finds King of Apes on the half wall, and again back down low. Mickey Dangles not able to hold on to it. Good job there. Layers in defense for Vesa Pompa.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Jyväskylä leave the zone early a lot right now, looking for the quick breaks, but good job from the defenseman Teemu and King of Apes to close off those passing lanes and prevent Vesa Pompa from getting a long stretch pass off to him.
In my response to Olvari about the A button, Xbox, best box. You heard it here first. Face off here again in the neutral zone. Won by Vesa Pompa. Again, that's been something that Ekin's done incredibly well, keeping the face-offs close, but they just haven't been able to make the most of it off of a lot of these opportunities. This one's knocked loose, recovered by Lehmanens. See what the captain's able to do in terms of finding space, and the answer is absolutely nothing. Teemu, very aggressive so far in this game, I've happened to notice here, Sin.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good job from him.
Ooh, Yoki, the pass over to Benito. You know, I need to start asking you questions as Vesa Pompa enter the zone. Maybe they'll get more offensive chances like
Yeah, well, as I was saying, very good job from Teemu to kind of, prevent Vesa Pompa from getting those rushes by stepping up in that neutral zone. Again, more aggression coming out from hREDS, kind of the culture that they've established here. And in this series, that's been when they're at their strongest, is on that aggressive side.
3.5 to go. Here's Villapoika. 2 goals in the last game. Throws one off the side of the net. Loose puck is there. And Finn Kona is forced to hold on to that one. See what happens here on this draw now. 3:03 remaining. Tie up on the play. Good win for hREDS. Miscommunication, though. Vesa Pompa will end up back in possession now. Bit of space for Jyväskylä. Villapoika was there as well. Nowhere to go. Villapoika recovers, looking, passed over, not their second chance for Jyväskylä, doesn't go. Big stop for Finn Kona.
And I really like Villapoika there, using the tie-up on the board, something that, in my opinion, is very underused in EASHL.
Chance here for Nicky Dangles, nearly found King of Apes in front, the defenseman pinching up. Final 15 seconds to go here. One more attempt for Vesa Pompa. There's the space. Jyväskylä, self-sauce, tries to cut in. Ekin fighting for it, loses it as well, and that will bring us to the end of the first. So again, another early goal. The first goal goes to hREDS. Was it on one shot, though? Not this time. So the streak is over at 2.
Yeah. I was actually just going to look for that as well, but a solid period from hREDS, all things considered. Vesa Pompa did get a couple chances there, not to take anything away from them, but hREDS got that early strike and still looked like the stronger teams and in a lot of ways throughout there. Vesa Pompa going to have to really work for their goals, but I like their mentality of starting to forecheck a bit more at times. They really seem to drop back, and hREDS were being so crisp with their passes, especially in that second game, to gain those zone entries no matter what. So Vesa Pompa here, we'll see if they want to keep up that aggression. They might have to here, down again in this game.
Second period underway now. Let's see indeed how this one plays out. Nikki Dangles and King of Apes linking up there. And all the way around, Yoki will recover. Teemu, a little bit of trouble. Finds Yoki the opportunity. Good pressure in the corner by Nikki Dangles to win it back. See Teemu as well being aggressive. Doesn't work out there. Lehmanen's able to find Villapoika. Loose puck. Ekin just wide. May have clipped the post. Vesa Pompa continuing to look dangerous on these counterattacking opportunities. Good interception here. Villapoika has Jyväskylä with them. Tries to step through. Spin move. Shot somehow doesn't go. What an opportunity. Here's Ekin. Still has it. Shot on and stopped. Lehmanen didn't get all of that one.
Yeah, what a play right there. I think I saw Finn Kona's blocker shoot up to the top corner there to keep that one out of net. A huge save that would go unnoticed if you didn't point it out right there. But, I mean, I like what Vesa Pompa is doing. Every offensive zone faceoff, they go to aggressive set.
B2B pass here. Parker Romberg down low. Looking. Here's Jyväskylä holding it behind the net. Heavy collapse from hREDS. Ekin goes back to the point to Lehmanen's. D2D. Wrister on. Just deflects wide. Again, Ekin holding it down low. But the point of the wraparound. Nearly caught Finn Kona. Great job there by the goaltender. hREDS will look to slow it up, but Jyväskylä pressuring. Forcing the matter. 13 minutes, about 13 minutes to go here. Vesa Pompa still looking to get back into this one. Something they've done in the prior 2 games. Again, not a winning formula, Sin.
Yeah, no, not at all. Playing from behind is never a good thing, but especially against a team as talented as hREDS.
Benito walks his way through every time, Sin. Every time. Chance here for Villapoika on the rush. Finds Jyväskylä, testing him on the short side. Finn Kona with a big stop there. Again, every rush, Vesa Pompa looking dangerous. Benito over to Yoki. Just couldn't get all of that one. Great opportunity there.
Yeah, speaking of looking on a rush, that was hREDS with a great counterattack. Yoki on the back door. The pass made of a phase was right there.
Let's see what happens now on this draw. Lehmanen's nearly came away with that one. Not quite able to do so. Chance here for Yoki. Pass over. Big glove save. Phase flashing the leather to deny Nikki Dangles.
Yeah, once again, it's starting to look like the phase show here. hREDS pushing, a sustained pressure, rush pressure, but phase has been right there to make the saves. Vesa Pompa got to find a way to bury a goal, take some of the pressure off of their goaltender.
Good job by Ekin to win another face-off. Vesa Pompa can do a very quick movement through the neutral zone. Jyväskylä has a little bit of space, tries to hold it at the line and does, only to have it poked away by Benito. Loose puck is recovered though here. Villapoika, the windmill, can't work his way around King of Apes. Good pressure there from Jyväskylä. Again, just not able to get all of it. Big stretch pass up to Yoki. Trying to make things happen here, and Nikki Dangles in front. Gets back out to King of Apes here. Benito fired just high and wide. Great chance there. Huge hip check for Villapoika. King of Apes is still down. Vesa Pompa could take advantage. Nikki Dangles tries the short side, and phase is there.
Wow, what a hip check. I mean, that's so satisfying when you get that off. The only unsatisfying thing is Vesa Pompa not able to turn the puck the other way, and hREDS actually with the chance.
Face off, big shot, loose puck is there. Recovered by Vesa Pompa. What a chance there for Yoki. Off the set play from hREDS. 4.5 to go here in the second period, again, of game 3. Big stretch pass to Jyväskylä. Recovered by Ekin with the pass. Off the mark here. Vesa Pompa, like we've mentioned, have come back twice to at least make it a close game down the stretch or to force overtime. Villapoika had 2 goals in the last game. He dishes it back to the point. Quick D2D movement and a great block by Nikki Dangles. And again, so that's one of the things hREDS mentioned this year. The emergence of Nikki Dangles is one of the better two-way players in this league.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't blame you for cutting that. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, every zone rush, I'm just like, oh, let me get this point across. Nope, never mind. Offensive chance.
I try to give you the opportunity to talk when it's in the neutral zone, but man, sometimes it just moves that much more quickly. Final 20 seconds here. They are not able to time it well at the line, so 10 seconds to go in the second period here. Still plenty of time for either side to make something happen.
Yeah, more on the point of Nicky Dangles with that two-way game, doing great blocking shots, but really good to sustain or stop the sustaining of pressure from the opponent in Vesa Pompa. As another offside is called, so I'll continue that point as I'm safe. He's taken some of his strong forechecking ability and just applied it to the other two zones on the ice. And I think that's, as simple as it sounds, has led to Nicky Dangles being such, a much better defensive player. While his point totals did suffer, it's good to see that he's putting a lot of emphasis on it.
Ooh, another second or two for Vesa Pompa, and good things going to happen. That brings us to the end of the second period. The stats are close. The score is close, but hREDS has the advantage.
Yeah, ever since that first game, Vesa Pompa doing a great job keeping things a lot more even. And on the back of phase, they're only down by 1 year again. But it's same story, different day, right? Vesa Pompa need to find a way to find the back of the net, get themselves a lead. I don't believe they've led at any point in this series so far, correct? Yeah, they have not led at any point in this series. Hard to play when you're always behind. But they got to find a way here. Big chance for it in the third period. 2 goals, man. Trust in phase, but you need 2 goals.
We haven't seen a reverse sweep all that often, as rare in the virtual world as it is in the real world. Pass Benito, what a chance on the backhand. A great opportunity for hREDS. Chance for Benito again, doesn't go. He still has the puck. That goes it back to the point here. Teemu slap shot, just high blocker side. On the back of the goal, and it's in! Teemu with the goal! What an unfortunate turn of events for Vesa Pompa. It's 2-0 for hREDS. Unbelievable.
Only in the ECL Elite Playoffs will you see this kind of stuff happen. What? Off the back of the boards, resting on the back of phase, and it just trickles in to the net. At this point, as a goaltender, you're asking yourself, what the heck can I do? What can I do? I can't make my guy reach back and grab it. You just feel so helpless in that situation. And hREDS, lady luck on their side on that one. 2-0 here in the third period. Vesa Pompa, they've got to step on the gas right now.
Here's Jyväskylä. We've seen them come back from 2-0 down. Loose puck in front. Fincona is able to find it. Again, they've come back from 2-0 before in the very last game, but that is a heartbreaker for Vesa Pompa. As soon as you talked about, not a winning formula. We haven't seen too many 3-0 comebacks. They are staring down the barrel here of a nearly insurmountable task at having to come back from 3-0 down. Laminen's in a little bit of trouble there. You never know what could have happened. So here we go. We still have almost the entire third period to play. This one's going to be offside, but an incredible goal there.
And we're going to start seeing Vesa Pompa take a lot more chances. Keep your eye on Laminens. We've seen, these sparks from him where he's able to really create some offense. He's going to be looking to do that on almost every possession now. So keep your eye on yellow for white.
This puck here is recovered. Sparka Romberg. D-to-D pass. 14.5 to go. Can Vesa Pompa battle back? Turnover here. Here's Teemu. Scored the last goal, technically. Loose puck, he nearly just weaves his way in. He dangles. Back to King of Apes at the point. Over for Yoki. Back again to Benito. Again hits Yoki in the corner to Nicky Dangles once more. King of Apes. Tremendous cycling. Errant pass there, though, picked off by Villapoika. Still fighting for it. Villapoika has it. Laminen's looking, shooting. Blocked down. Poika again trying to hold on to it. Ekin still battling for it as well. Recovered by Jyväskylä. Tried to go back down low. Nicky Dangles is able to strip him of the puck. Here's Teemu one more time now into the zone. Soft pass into traffic. Romberg recovers space here. 2-on-1 developing. Villapoika can't get the shot off, but draws the trip. And Sin, this is the most important power play of Vesa Pompa's season right here.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. You have to score here. This is a must-score scenario. Take advantage of the mistake that hREDS has just made. Yeah, they're even going to take what looks like, a timeout. That is them. We're seeing actually the man who, with the screen, he's going to be the one to call the timeout himself. This is huge. They need to score here. We're getting another look at that. What? Does that just... the shot went...
So
I thought it would hit something. No, the shot just hit the top of the glass, and somehow I don't get it.
So, I mean, for me, the thought process is, right, like we've seen that in real hockey. It bounces off the glass, hits the goalie's back, and goes in. Maybe not as slow as that play happened to be, where it rested on his back and then trickled in. It's not the most unrealistic thing I've seen in this game.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate regardless. Big save there by Faze off the shot from Yoki. I mean, regardless, though, for that to happen in this situation is definitely a heartbreaker. But here we go. Chance for Vesa Pompa. Jyväskylä banks it off the back of the net. Covered here by Benito. Weaves his way past Sparka Romberg. Yoki not able to get it, but he's able to win it back. Chance tried to wrap around a little bit too early. Just 20 seconds to go on the Vesa Pompa power play. Jyväskylä's pass is off the mark. Nicky Dangles has it. We are back to 5-on-5. And right now, it is looking less and less likely here. Chance for Benito. Tried phase on the short side. And the young goaltender able to stare him down and make that stop. 6.5 minutes to go for Vesa Pompa here, or you are facing a 3-0 deficit. Good pickoff from Lehmanitz. Having trouble, though. Benito in his face. Trying to weave his way through. Finds Ekin. Looking. Poked away. Sparka Romberg pinching up. Still fighting for it. Down low. Villapoika tried the short side. Just couldn't hit the target. Fortunately, it didn't bank off the back glass just right. This one's going to go down for icing with 4:16 to go.
Yeah, and Vesa Pompa really up against it right now, and that power play just didn't have a whole lot of wheels, and it seemed like hREDS actually got the more offensive chances on the penalty kill here, so Vesa Pompa really up against it. Another face-off one for hREDS. They're really starting to run away with it.
Nicky Dangles with speed, overscores! Teemu has another one! Maybe equally as fortunate as the first, as the puck just finds its way over to him. 3-0 hREDS.
Yep, Teemu might be going out, placing a few bets, buying a couple lottery tickets because, my goodness, the loose puck there just off of the trip went straight over to Teemu. So regardless, I mean, hREDS was going on to the power play. Helpless play by the defense. You kind of just have to do that right there. It was Sparka Romberg, but Teemu, fortuitous bounce to his stick. The one time goes in 3-0 with 3 minutes left. It's pretty much over unless Vesa Pompa can pull out a miracle.
So again, facing now a 3-0 deficit. Here's Teemu. He wants that hat trick. And he might get it with how his luck's going. Benito looking, throws it on. Rebound was there. Teemu nearly had the hat trick. He's playing in front. That's clearly what they want. That one through the crease. Actively going for the Teemu hat trick.
I mean, it's reminding me of when we play together. You're on, and you just go to the front of the net on the power play as a 6'7" defenseman, but it's Teemu now looking for that hat trick. Oh my goodness, and I mean, why not at this point?
Fantastic stuff here. The offensive zone draw. Ekin wins it. Sparka Romberg can't get the pass over. Nicky Dangles was there. Final minute of play. Romberg has it poked away from him here. Nicky Dangles nearly wins it back, and you can absolutely see the improvements he's made as a defensive forward. The Vesa Pompa right now playing for pride, knowing that you are in a very rough spot. Here's Teemu. Can he make something happen between the legs? He wins it back. Passes to Nicky Dangles. Loose puck again. Nicky Dangles recovers. You know they're going to look for Teemu. Puck in front. Recovered here by Villapoika. And unfortunately, that second goal really was the momentum changer. All things considered, this one offside with 21 seconds to go.
Yeah, my eyes have almost just been glued to Teemu there to see what he's going to do. Got back for D right there, but the second his team got the puck, he was hustling down that wing to try to get in position for the rush.
Faced off here. Nicky Dangles comes away with it. Chance across Benito. Trying to shuffle that backhand in. He has it again here. Benito pinching in. Nicky Dangles, Yoki there as well. 9 seconds off the post. Recovered by King of Apes. Villapoika has it poked away. Teemu gets the pass up. 1 second to go, and that will do it. hREDS win 2 close games to start the series and do walk away with this one, a 3-0 victory in Game 3.
Yeah, and Vesa Pompa need to find a way to get the offense. They just simply weren't able to do it. When they got it, it was too little too late. and you're down 3-0 against an incredibly potent hREDS team who really did play like the better team for the majority of it. Maybe got some luck there, of course, but at the same time, luck aside, Vesa Pompa weren't able to put the puck in the back of the nets. And, once again, Vesa Pompa, staring at defeat in the face here, but can't take anything away from their effort. They had their moments where they looked good, but hREDS was just played phenomenally. Their aggression was on point. Their defense, when it needed to be, was fantastic. And really, the only space Vesa Pompa got was oftentimes off those rush plays.
Again, just a very impressive performance, and sometimes you get those bounces and you just gotta go for it from there, and ultimately it does work out. Finn Kona gets his first playoff shutout since ECL 8. Back when he was a member of Philadelphia, he made 2 appearances for that squad and got a shutout in one of those games. So a long time coming for him here, of course, now in season 11. And again, all things considered, and we'll get a look here. Did that one go through the glove?
Oh, no.
Is the genuine question. What happened on this play?
Yeah.
It looked like it went just under.
Yeah, just under, or it's really hard to tell from that angle.
Oh, my God. If that went through the glove. I really want them to give us another look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Hopefully we can get some communication there, because I think if you get the angle right, you'd be able. Granted, it's more difficult on PlayStation, I feel, to be, as opposed to not having the triggers. But at the very least, we got to look at the second goal again, which again is something that is going to haunt Vesa Pompa for a long time to come.
Absolutely. It just seemed like the bounces when they started going hRED's way, it just started crumbling.
Okay, here we go. They are giving us a look at this again. Fantastic. Really slow this down and try to get that angle right. Back it up a little bit. If you time it correctly, it looks like it's just under. And that went through the glove. Rough. That went through the glove. Oh, Vesa Pompa. I think I'm going to have, okay, can we, hREDS are probably going to win this series now. Wilhelm, can you hold on? Can Wilhelm do something? Can we get a prize package to Vesa Pompa? Because holy hell. I have never seen a team this unlucky. Can we get some sort of consolation prize to Vesa Pompa, please?
Poor face.
2 of those goals to go in the way they did.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So please, to Wilhelm, I will give each of them $5 out of my pocket at this point. Just something to make these boys feel better, because, my God, is that just tragic.
Yeah, that is some rough luck. And for that to happen both in the same game, and as good as FaZe was playing as well, you saw the sad face coming out from him in the chat. He was phenomenal. And to have those 2 goals be 2 that went in against you, and then obviously your team has to stretch things out, being down that much.
Here. Okay. Is the word? Maybe not. It might be done.
Nope.
Never mind.
Producer fooled us.
Yes. I will say this. Again, you want to talk about it too. With Vesa Pompa, again, I think there are some bright spots there. Like I said, the front 3 showed those moments of magic where they could make things happen. I think defensively, Laminens was phenomenal, but Sparka Romberg as well. We pointed it out the first half of game 1 where it looked like he was being targeted, but then beyond that, he stepped up. Again, this guy only played 8 out of 30 games. I thought he fit in very well. FaZe as well was fantastic. It's just, again, 2 very close games against an incredible team. And then that third game where, what the hell can you even say to that?
Yeah, again, a series, it doesn't, on like what it looks like on paper, the 3-0, it's really not conducive just of how close these 2 teams are and have been. The first game, you could say hREDS was actually a dominant team with the time on attack and the shots they got and the chances they got. But after that, it's been relatively close. Vesa Pompa has found ways to counter them, but their doom has been giving up that first goal, always playing from behind. If they want a chance to get back in this series and complete, what the seemingly impossible, they got to start scoring that first goal.
Absolutely. So again, we look here. I do believe we have the updated bracket for you. If not, we can at least still show it, because of course I can at least tell you the updated result there. And indeed, it is updated. So as we saw, Philadelphia took the first 3 games off of Northern ascendancy, but NA stays alive with an overtime win in Game 4 against the number 1 seed. Havu Gaming have taken the first 2 games of their series against Roots. So if you are betting on another El Clasico final between Philadelphia and Havu, well, right now, that's looking like a pretty safe bet, although time will tell. hREDS up 3-0 on Vesa Pompa. And again, we started off this broadcast with the first 2 games between Jyväskylä and Färjestad as well. 2 very close games there, with Yip taking the lead on that. Sin, how was that for the first night of playoff action?
Well, it had a little bit of everything, the close games, back and forth action, and then, of course, some of the strangest bounces that we've ever seen, especially, and it had to come at the tail end when we're starting to lose our minds already from how crazy these games have been. Just decides, let's get a little bit crazier there. So can't wait to see how the rest of this plays out. And again, a lot of these are closer than they seem on paper, and I'm very excited.
Absolutely. So with that, again, we want to remind you, NHLgamer.com, and of course, pay attention especially to the social media here over the next 24 hours or so, a little bit less than that, I suppose. Of course, NHL Gamer on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and such. We will have an update for you as to whether or not there will be a broadcast for Tuesday. At the very least, we will be back on Wednesday with more playoff action here as we continue to cover the first round here. So again, can't have the confirmation for you yet about tomorrow, but time will tell. With that, of course, make sure to drop us a follow right here on Twitch if you haven't already done so. And again, like I mentioned, NHLgamer.com for all the information that you need. You can find Sin on Twitter. You see it on your screen at Sin for the Win Prod, and of course on YouTube at Sin for the Win Productions. Myself, everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Toogie24, and of course on Spotify as well, the Toogie Steak Podcast. Check it out if you haven't. With that, we thank you for joining us for a marathon broadcast here, but what a way to kick off the playoffs. Now let's all go take a nap. Good night, goodbye, Wilhelm forever.
Wilhelmin ykköskentän pakkeina uudet tulokkaat. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.